Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot breathe. Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot breathe. Horizon's too high, it's dark on my side.
Spick Span Show!
Check, check, check. Hello. I forgot my hat. Welcome, everybody, to a special, another amazing, great, fantastic edition. Let's pop this up here of the Spick and Span Show. Let me put my hat back on. Here it is. Now I'm ready. So, I apologize that this is not the background that everybody is used to and usually ready for. I'm so stoked for so many reasons. I'm stoked. Now give me a minute while I collect myself and I jump around here from topic to topic. But I'm still out in Florida because once you win World Cup, I mean, I know I did it last year, but you know, what you're supposed to do is you go to Disneyland. And because I had the family out here, and this was such a big win, I obviously had to take young Sloan out to Disney World for her first time. We did the Animal Kingdom today. We did Disney World, the world. And by the way, please study some sort of YouTube video or map, or like really do your homework before you adventure out on what you're supposed to be doing, because it's not Disneyland. It's not all combined into one place. Anyway, so we did all of that, and I'll tell you one thing. Winning World Cup, the toll it takes on your body is pretty great. But 2 days of Disney will definitely trump what the toll it takes on your body. Because today, when I woke up this morning, my knees were sore, my back was sore. Everything was more achy than it was ever before. To answer your question, Jonas, the water actually, to be completely honest, I think they did something different. They did something new and different to the water, and it's actually a lot better than it's been in the past. So, big props to Orlando. Also, Alex Frazi's not going to be joining us on the show today because we have two other guests. Well, one other guest is going to be Kyle. We're phoning in a friend right now here in a second. The other guest, which is usually Mr. Alex Frazi, but I did make this emoji for his birthday, and we didn't use it. So, I wanted to make sure we pop that sucker up there right now. And Dalton, we are going to make a Sleepy Kyle emoji. We'll have that coming for next week. But Kyle is cued and ready to jump in here for the show. Just a quick rundown on what we got going on. Obviously, we're going to talk about World Cup. We're going to talk about how exciting it is to win back-to-back twice, and then back-to-back events, season, series, all that stuff. We've got rings here. Up here, we're also going to talk a little bit about the Champions Club, Bong, which we have a logo for right there. We've got some Spick and Span merch. Bing! If you were at World Cup, sorry for those of you guys who were there, and I said the stuff was going to be at the booth, but it wasn't because we had a lot of stuff going on. We were winning an event. But real quick, the Champions Club is almost sold out. It is an exclusive membership, and we are launching it we launched it now. Launched it Saturday, and sign-ups started coming in, and, you know, it's a prepay program, so you got to pay for the first 3 months starting January, February, March. The reason is because we need to order all your stuff. We're getting jackets, shirts, hats. We want to make sure we know your size. But with that said, we ended up winning World Cup, and they gave us one extra set of Series Champion and World Cup rings. So we've got one extra set of rings. So we decided we're going to launch the delivery part of the Champions Club 1 month early. So originally it starts, you're going to get your first Champions Club experience stuff starting in January. We're going to be doing the Intel session. We're going to be doing the giveaway, and someone's going to win a signature series force. You're going to be able to design your very own force. One of you members are going to be eligible to win that. Now, what I suggested is, because we have an extra set of rings, what are we going to do with these? We're either going to give them to one of the Spick and Span viewers, or my idea was let's give this to one of the Champions Club members, because we know that the Champions Club members are going to be with us. Actually, have probably been with us for a long time, but even more is that we really appreciate everybody, all of our fans, no matter who you guys are. And rather than delivering the first grand prize experience, so that we have 4 grand prize experiences lined up. First is the Signature Series Force, which someone's gonna win January. Then we're gonna do a head-to-toe gear sponsorship from San Diego Dynasty. Then someone's gonna win a practice session with Dynasty. We're gonna fly you out. You're gonna hang out at either Victory or Capital Edge and join us for practice. And then the final great experience will be coming to World Cup with San Diego Dynasty. So we'll be covering all your expenses. You're going to fly out. You're going to be a part of the team for the weekend. We might put you to work a little bit. Maybe if you want to just sit in VIP, you could do that too. But it'll be a World Cup experience with Dynasty. That's the 4th one. So the first one we're going to do, actually, is I'm going to give away both of these rings. Not today, but these are going to go to a Champions Club member. These are going to be... Sorry, I'm just now reading the comments, guys. These are going to go towards a Champions Club member. So if you are already a Champions Club member, if you join before the end of the month or before we sell out, you're going to be in the drawing to win both of these rings. And the reason that we feel that you guys deserve these rings, just like we do, is just the same as we deserve the rings. You know, you guys have been with us for more than likely a long time, since the beginning. And this is a really cool memento. And again, we have an extra set of them. We made sure our coaching staff, our pit crew staff, everybody, and if you are part of our pit crew staff, you will most likely be getting one of these in the mail as well. So Steve, we got a set of these things for you, and Chris as well. But we want to offer that exclusive prize to everybody who supports us. So if you are a member of the Champions Club, which just was released and it's almost sold out, Taylor, I feel you, man. I know you mean. I'm sorry. But yeah, join now, dynastypaintball.com, to learn more about the Champions Club, or watch the last Spick and Span show to get a little bit more information about the Champions Club. And yes, Kyle Spick has actually already joined, so he's a member too. He's been a longtime fan. Remember, his on his wall when he grew up was a poster of Brandon Short and all the rest of Dynasty. So he's already joined the club. So maybe he'll win these rings too. And then on the episode, I'm gonna call Kyle here in 2 seconds. He's gonna get on here, and as you can see, he's already in the chat screen. Dalton Gilbert, I want to give a huge shout out. Let me hit the air horn real quick for Dalton Gilbert, because Dalton Gilbert is donating a HORMESIS headband. I believe it is one of the Dragonfly Pollinator series headbands to the show today. So that is going to be given away on the show today. You have to be a member to be signed up. He wants it to be cutthroat, so I have to probably oblige to that, but don't worry if you're not fancy on the cutthroat thing. I know a lot of people aren't. I know if you're absolutely watching the show, you are a fan of the cutthroat. But don't worry about it if you're just a member of the show. We have other giveaways going on today as well. So I want to make sure that everybody's happy here, there, and everywhere. So I'm going to call Kyle right now. Let's see, where is he? There he is. Kyle, here it comes. What I didn't do is I didn't plan for... Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. Maybe. There we go. I can scoot back. Where is he? There he is. All right.
Mute this, I think.
Yeah, mute the other side. All right, so here's Kyle. Let me get rid of Alex's beautiful face here. All right, there he is. He's actually home. He got to go home. I'm out here. I'm out here battling the elements here. And shout out to Steve Segovia. I'm just now reading all of the.
There was like a glare, and it was on your side, but I'm like trying to adjust mine.
Oh yeah, is it fixed? Are we?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Let me see. All right.
I think it's yeah.
Is it on you or is it on me?
Pretty good.
There we go. How's everything look? We sounding good? We got just
yeah.
All right, dude, you're loud. Let me turn you down.
I'm loud.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
I was a little worried because they're building the patio out there. So I shut all the windows, but it's not too loud right now.
Oh, we got a new patio coming in.
Oh, you didn't get to see any of that, huh?
No. I just got a text message saying that our door was open and we had dogs in the house.
Look how nice it looks.
Let's see. Oh wow, it's a full new patio.
Yeah.
And
they're redoing everything.
They didn't even move the tables.
Funny story. The guy I talked to him today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The guy that is building it, he's like, I don't know whoever built this thing, but it was about to collapse in the middle.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to reinforce it.
I believe it. I mean, we're dealing with our landlord's not the most. She's a little cheap. That's nice how best to put that, but.
You know, it's funny. The dogs heard you talking and they started like running around the house.
Hey, watch this. Is Rose next to you?
No, she's sleeping. But the other dog is down here.
Yeah, Sloan misses the dogs today. Sloan says, she goes, I want to go home and see Rose. So she's ready to go home. We fly home tomorrow morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We were tackling business actually, or Disney. We actually saw Shane Howe today. Shane Howe's out here at the World. He's experiencing. He's got 2 kids. So yeah. I can't imagine how hectic that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, let's start talking a little bit of World Cup. Let's recap the whole deal here. Let's talk. So you guys finally had Bart. Oh, actually, wait. What I want to point out is JC. How did JC is an animal.
Yeah, he didn't practice at all till Wednesday.
Yeah, I watched him play. And I talked to Bart a little bit about it, and dude, he's really good. Still,
dude, it's like a anomaly that he didn't practice at all because he just had a kid, Maverick, which is such a cool name, and so he luckily was able to still come to the tournament, but just like balled out, not getting to play. You know what's funny though is Nick, when we practiced, Nick Laval called him on his phone on FaceTime, and put the phone up in the like that big
in the tower.
Goes over the field in the tower, yeah. And I think he was talking to Vic while Vic was filming the practice, but he sat there for 3 hours and watched all the games, so he got like a good idea of how the field was playing.
I mean, can you imagine that though? Like, hey, this is how the field works. Now, I mean, he was playing I will say, arguably, like that Dorito side was, as long as you can make Dorito 1, it was one of the easier Dorito sides to ever play because you didn't really have to check anybody off, and if everybody were to like rewind the webcast or like see an overview of the field, nobody ever looked at the Dorito side. Like my whole our game plan was never to be like, hey, we need someone looking over there. You know, there was nothing stopping the Dorito side except for those 2 wedges. That was it.
Yep. Yeah, I know. It was It was crazy too, and you saw a lot of times. Did my screen go out?
Yeah,
You're, like,
yeah,
blurry.
yeah. You're uh-oh.
I think that's on your end.
It very well could be. No, I'm good. You're still, you're paused. Now you're playing.
Yeah, I think I'm good now.
Let me see.
I think we're good.
Huh. No, you're black. You're blurry on my screen now.
It keeps going in and out.
Huh. Well, you keep talking. Maybe
Okay.
it'll pop back up. I don't know why. I don't know why it's blurry. It just has a pause in front of it, but there's no connection issues. Stream health is healthy.
Oh, I see. I have to leave this box open. Okay.
Oh yeah. You keep moving.
Well, I just minimized it.
Oh yeah.
I gotta leave it open.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. So yeah, that Dorito side was wild, and I actually brought up because Mouse and I commentated with Maddie your guys' game against Infamous and Heat versus XFactor, and we were talking on it. It's like I think it was like maybe out of like 6 points, 3 of those points were one team had 4 bodies, or it was a 5-on-3, and the down body team just broke through either the Dorito side or the Snake side. Like one of them was that 2-on-4. I believe it was with Marcelo, maybe.
And me.
Yeah, and then you blew through the Snake side, and you got 2 kills, and then like Marcelo got a kill off of it. I don't know if it was a 4-on-3 or something, but you were constantly seeing that on this field, which was really cool. And one thing I was saying up there was like that's why communication was. It's obviously really important, but it was so vital on this field for the team that was up bodies to get across really quick how many people had died and had got shot, because the team that was down bodies, they realized it right away and they were able to find the hole. And that's the team that was like coming back and winning those down body points, while the other team still thought they were playing like an even body situation. So I thought that was a really cool aspect of the field, and you saw it tons of times happening on Sunday, especially.
Yeah, and it was funny. Alex kept saying, well, because Alex missed practice also, but he was there just on the one day. He was just there on the Saturday. We played Uprising. We had a relatively lousy practice. We did well against Uprising the first day, but he left, and then he had his birthday, and he was down and wherever, and then he came back, and he was like, "This is how you got to play the field. You got to blah, 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 blah." And he was just telling everybody. Marcelo was in like he was super depressed. I mean, you remember that about how practice went, but he was like, "You just got to make moves." And I was kind of watching it, and I'm like, man, the center is so wide open, and I knew that move from the corner, you could distract people and kind of go into that God money spot, and then turn the corner because everybody's trying to hold you in that corner. You put one guy in and make a move there, and that Dorito side has no corner to hold you in, so that wide up and out route works so well over there. And the only thing that can stop you on that Dorito side really is if there's a guy in the 50 Dorito or the 40 Dorito looking straight ahead, or if there's somebody in one of those 2 wedges like dedicated your way. Like Meter did a really good job of slowing it down. The Uprising, I don't know. I'll tell you what, David Ramirez did a fantastic job in that can, which I'll count, which is the worst spot to play. Luckily for me, I got to play that can a lot, and I got to play. Well, I had to play. I played the number 2 on the Snake side from the middle. I played up the middle. I played the back center. I played that can. I played the number 1 on the Dorito side. I played the tower on the Dorito side. I played the number 1 on the Snake side a couple of times on accident. I had to play every single spot as the number 1, 2, and 3, which is cool because you get playing time, but then you're like, I was in the finals, like, I'm going to go up to this tower in the 50. I've done it twice. It worked once, let's just roll the dice on this one. It didn't work that time. But, I didn't have a whole lot of reps in any of the positions. But, and this is the best part about it, right? I mean, it's Dalton getting hurt was tragic. It was awful, and it sucks. And we're pulling for Dalton to have a speedy recovery. It happened at your guys' practice, but we had a pretty rough practice, especially on Sunday against you guys. Marcelo was like, pretty down the whole time.
Yeah, kind of frustrated.
He was frustrated. You know, nothing was really working. And he's like, dude, why aren't you guys worried? Like, this is, it's not going right. You know. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Things are gonna work out. Like, just be positive. Let's figure it out. Oh, by the way, Marcelo, you got to fill in for Dalton.
Yeah.
But he was like super confident about his move making, you know, because Dalton and him were splitting points over on that number 1 spot. And look at that, lo and behold, Marcelo plays the number 1. Arturo also had a fantastic. This is his best event of the year for sure, because he excelled and he had to play both the number 1 on the Dorito side and the Snake side and up the middle. But Marcelo really rose to the occasion, being put into that position, and we talk about that a lot, right?
Yeah.
About like, dude, you don't have very many opportunities. You know, obviously tell your coach where you're the best. Like, where should I play? You know, and then we're like, don't always say I can play anywhere. Obviously, Marcelo can play anywhere. I can play anywhere. You'll play anywhere. But you want to be like, dude, this is where I'm the most confident, comfortable, and this is where I should play. And Marcelo, obviously, with the golden barrel, splitting it with Blake, which I think that was a good split because it was really hard. Maddie tried to make us make the choice, but
I think if I had to make a choice, I think that's right. But I would give it to Blake.
Yeah, Blake had
just
that
because of how dynamic that position that he played was and how consistent. And I think the one was a point where he went from that first can on the Dorito side into the second one because, dude, I don't know what the hell, like, Billy Bernaccia had a fucking force field around him all of Sunday. Like, running and shooting to the snake, and, like, no offense to Billy, but it did not look accurate. Like, I could see his gun bouncing. And I was like, dude, how is no one could shoot him? We couldn't shoot him once.
Nobody could shoot him.
Like, Fedorov tried to shoot at him, Mishka tried to shoot at him, no one was shooting him, but Blake made a really, really intelligent move to go from that first can to the second can, one game, to shoot him crawling into the snake too, which I thought was pretty incredible. And then I think there was another time too, I think Blake got all the way up to that, like 50 brick as well to get a shot on Billy another point. So, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. So the thing was, like, with me or whoever went up to that center 40 wedge, we were calling it the monster. Some people are calling it the command center, and the guy going to that can, shooting across. You guys both know kind of what's going on either side of the field. That can, once someone makes it out wide on the snake side from that can's awful. The only person I saw play it that was able to actually play it was David Ramirez. And he was nearly impossible to get out of that stupid goddamn can. Even at the end of everything. He would just stand up in there and just stop everything. I played that thing. I got shot in the back from both sides. Every time I shot it, I was in there at the end of a game trying to stave off like a long point.
Yeah.
So Blake and I had kind of come to the agreement that if it was nobody made it out wide on the snake side, I would either switch and go over and try to turn the field or go up to that center tower and lock it down. But if they did make it, I'd be like, Blake, just go up into the hundreds, which we would call it, which is the next can or the wedge, and you lock off the Dorito side, and then I'll switch and go that way and deal with the snake side. So we had a really good set of communication, which you talked about a little bit earlier. Like, we had a really good line of communication between those two positions, and be like, if this, then that. If this, then that. Like, if a guy made it wide over here, just get the hell out of that can. That was like the almost the bunker of death. And then it was funny in the finals. The only time I think Blake went like up into their wedge the entire tournament was in the finals on like 0.4 or 5 when it was like we were even on points or we were up by 1 or something like that. He went in there and I was like, he shot Billy and I could see it in his body language. He shot him, and then he was like, "Shit, what do I do now?" You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, Blake, don't move. They don't know where you are. They don't know you're there. I was trying to tell him to that. And then he started wiling out, and then Colt came up. I shot Colt when he was coming to get him. And then Colt switches hands and shoots at me, misses me, hits the bunker, sprays all over me, and then goes, "You cheated me." I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jesus.
He was like bunkering him. I was looking at him. I was roasting him, and then he switches hands, blindly fires some shots at me, and then tries to call me a cheater on the next point as we're walking out. That was funny.
People forgot about that bunker. I actually got up to that bunker when we were coming back. We were trying to mount a comeback against XFactor. They were Dave was like, "You're in the back center. You're shooting the Dorito side, and then just go up." And I found myself into that tall center tower at the 50, and I bounced Archie off his headband, but I could see Tom Guest running behind him, and he had no idea that I was there. So if that shot would have broke on Archie, then I might have picked him up, and then we could have maybe mounted a little comeback on the Dorito side. But yeah, that was, people forgot about that bunker.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of stepping up, let's give a quick shout out to Tom Guest.
Yeah, that's who else I was gonna say about David Ramirez. It's like
Tom Guest, who Aftermath let go like a year or two ago, and he's just been kind of playing paintball here and there. I've seen, because I follow him on Instagram. You know, he's playing paintball here and there. Dude, gets picked up by XFactor, 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe 3 weeks ago, and dude, he played phenomenal. Like, I saw him save a bunch of points, pull a bunch of points out. Dude, he's playing tenacious. And then we obviously have to give a shout out to your boy B Short.
I don't know how that happened. Like, I mean, I don't know if everyone in here knows, but he just was like there for some of the matches, you know, because he's coaching another team. Like, it's funny. I actually I texted Dalton and Brandon earlier today. I was like, so is that the move? You just don't play for a year and then come play and win World Cup? Like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah, can I do that? I know.
It was wild. And to, going into that, I forget, someone asked, like, what do we think about our performance? Like, obviously, it's a bummer for us, especially, it was like a double whammy to not, obviously we want to win that event, but two, like, losing our series title too. So it was like, that was a hard one to swallow, but, the preparation that we put into it, like, I did 3 days of practice the first weekend and then 4 days of practice the second weekend. We got like an extra slot on Wednesday in the morning for just us off, like, by ourselves before we even went into our 2-hour slot. So, like, it is kind of tough when you go put in a ton of work to, perform, and then you get knocked out early like that. So it was definitely a little heartbreaking for us, and deflating in a sense. Like, especially when B Short's just going out there and Skinny's putting him in every other point, and hasn't played in a year.
Yeah,
so,
he hasn't played in 3 years.
Yeah.
I think the last tournament was 3 years ago, he said. We're like, what? He played with us on Saturday before, like, of weekend one, and he was going to come out on Sunday, except he said he was on Saturday. He's like, there's no way, I can barely walk right now. I'm done. See you guys in a year, is what he said. And then we're like, dude, Dalton got hurt on Sunday. He went to the back of the office. He grabbed a blank jersey. He was already coming out to coach a team. He missed 2 of the prelim matches because he was coaching another team. He played one, played another one. He played practice with us. Showed up to that a little late, and he was like, he was joking the whole weekend. He goes, dude, this is like paintball the ride, like experience paintball the ride at Universal Studios. Like, he's like, I bought my ticket. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny too. I talking to a bunch of people, like, pros and whatnot on that Sunday, like, I'd say the majority of people thought XFactor was stronger just by, watching them play in those really tough matches between heat that they won out of both. And it's funny because I was like, yeah, but Dynasty has Dynasty magic, and it is World Cup. It's like, so it was cool to see that you guys take it again. A lot of those guys are our friends, so it's gotta suck, losing again twice in a row in that situation when they seemed like they were in a pretty strong position to take it.
I felt bad too when I was shaking it. Well, didn't feel bad. I mean, obviously we won, but like, like shaking. And we're gonna talk a little bit. I know a lot of people want to know about the rainy situation. We're gonna talk about that, but we're gonna call our guest right after this. But yeah, he, like, shaking Alex Martinez's hand at the end after we just shook his hand at the last event because we beat them in the finals in Chicago, and then obviously World Cup the year before. He's like, God, you guys. This is what he said. He's like, you guys, like, shaking his head. How do you keep doing it? I think Alex said something at our dinner that night. He's like, dude, I don't know how we keep doing it, you know? But that's it, you know, is someone steps up every time. Like, it was me, if it was me last year, and Marcel in the finals and Tyler in the finals last year, and then if it was Alex of all people, you know, not of all people, at the last event, and then Yarber obviously was really close in Chicago, but Marcelo, you know, he's been thirsty, he's been wanting one of those gold barrels forever, you know, and he stepped up. I had arguably one of the worst finals I've ever had. You know, I was playing great. I was playing well the entire event, and then all of a sudden the finals came along, and I was out there with a catcher's mitt, grabbing every single. But Mike came in, would have hit me with a clipboard 15 times. And the 15 points we played. But hey, let's call our guest. Do you know who it is? Oh, I told you.
I think so, yeah. Oh, and a couple of you guys are saying Urena. That's who else I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Super consistent. Dude. Super consistent.
Yeah, we'll talk about Mikey, because Mikey's been. I mean, I told him. I told a couple people, dude. Mikey's like, if you were to look at one of your stonks that you that you follow, Mikey is one of those. Mikey is like one of those high-powered stonks that, like, you know, he was here for a long time, and then he got on Dynasty and went like this, and then now it's like a parabolic rise with his talent level, dude. He's playing so well. I watched him, because I walked off a lot of times shrugging my shoulders and shaking my head, looking at the ground going, God damn it, what am I doing? I look over, and then I just see Mikey pop over something or do one of these things or one of those things, and next thing you know, he gets he wins the point for us. He won a crucial one-on-one, and it was just awesome. You know, it was.
So you got bunkered too, because I also Matt Jackson bunkered me in the center wing.
I watched that. Go down.
Yeah.
I watched that go down. You guys were down by like 2 or 3 points, and you needed a quick point, and Matt Jackson ran up and bunkered you.
So I was like, is that guy in our snake? Like, what just happened?
I remember I talked to you. I talked to you about that. I was like, who, you got shot in the back of the, you're like, dude, I thought someone was in our snake. No, I think he tripped over a ref or something crazy. Like, something happened. And no, Orlando, the surprise guest is not Rainy, but I wish it actually were. I'm sure we're going to do Eating Terrible Things next week, but I was at Trader Joe's, and I saw these, and I was like, oh, man, maybe these are going to be really hot. Ghost pepper potato chips. Dude, that's insane that you even bought those.
I bought them, and then I was like, I'm going to try it before the show, and they're actually not that hot, and they're really good. So I guess I was like, I'm not even going to try to front on that one. I actually bought these also, and these might be worse. These dill pickle chips. These might be a more terrible thing.
So if you want to know, it is now officially the cheat month here for Kyle Spick. Season's over. Season's over. So his breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I did still eat rice, chicken, and vegetables, but I loaded up on the potato chips.
All right, here. I have to hang up on you and then do a dual call. So I'll call you right back.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna make a quick call here to 2 people. Bingo, bango. 1, 2, and the phone is calling. I wish it showed their numbers here right now. So real quick, I want to thank everybody. I'm gonna give a quick warm air horn welcome. Boom! There he is. There's number 1. Hey, Maddie.
Top of the evening to you.
Top of the evening. Let me move this light really quickly. I'm getting blown out here with this thing. So our special guest, everybody, welcome. Just in case you haven't heard his voice enough over the weekend, I didn't get to watch any games, but welcome Maddie Marshall from Go Sports, who got to watch every single game. So is obviously got all the info for everybody. But Maddie, I'm not sure if you were watching a little bit about the of the show earlier here. We were just talking about a little bit about the event. Quick wrap up, talking about how well like a couple of the guys like JC, who didn't practice at all, came in and just running the Doritos. Brandon Short also practiced for 1 day, coaching a team, played 2 prelim matches, and then just destroyed everybody. Alex Frazier still continued playing incredibly well. Another one was Tom Guest previously from Aftermath, picked up by XFactor, came in after a hiatus, crushing it.
Colt Roberts.
Colt Roberts
Oh, yeah.
also. Yeah,
Colt
that's
was
right.
dominant.
Colt played incredibly well. He was impossible to get around. He was a pain in my ass.
Yeah, I mean, considering that he hasn't really played all that much since COVID hit, and then I come practice occasionally out here, and then kind of flirt with coming back, and then they finally got him back. But I agree with all the picks of the guys that you had brought up. I was very impressed with Tom Guest. Tom Guest was a beast out there. It was kind of funny though. The very first game he did get shot a little bit in the beginning of their first game, but then he just kind of picked it right back up and had no problems. And I talked to Rainey after that. I was like, hey, Tom, look, in his second game he started to dial things in because Rainey only played, I think, one or 2 points in their first 3 matches. He came in when they were down 3-0. I think that was match 2. Yeah, so they Uprising goes up 3-0, and then Rainey comes out and plays the point, which they score. But yeah, Tom Guest was amazing. But he did start out a little nervous, but then Rainey was like, yeah, dude, I mean, he was just a little bit nervous, and I went and talked to him. I'm like, bro, you're going to watch me go out there. I'm going to play in the back center. I'm going to shoot a guy on the break, and you're going to come in here, and you're just 10 times more athletic than me right now, so just don't even worry about it, bro. Just let's just get this done. And Tom was outstanding. He just kept getting better and better and better and more confident as the tournament went on. So, yeah, I mean, having Tom and Colt play as well as he did really earned a nod on that starting five, because if you look at their performance at the last event when they didn't have Colt and they still got to the finals yet again, this is becoming quite the rivalry between the three of you, or between the two of you. But yeah, it was really impressive. Colt and Tom were really, really good. And I mean, I could continue to go down and talk about the XFactor stuff, but this is your guys' show, so you tell me what you want to talk about.
Dude, what are you talking about? I didn't get to... Maddie, I saw you, like I said, I texted you, I saw you like 4 or 5 times. I walked by you. I tapped you on the shoulder a couple times. I waved over someone's head once. Albeit, if Kyle and I are waving over anybody's head, you probably can't see our faces. But we were trying to get a hold of you, and I just, I haven't been able to talk to you since, for a minute, since we did our interview in the garage at my house. So, what do I want to talk to you about? Anything, really. But let's talk about World Cup.
I'm down. I just, it was definitely funny because I would see this. Dude, this cup was crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. This was amazing.
Everyone always likes talking about vibes, but it was a really good vibe. They had the way they had kind of like that beer area surrounded by all of the like in the central spot, and I didn't get over there much. I could only get over there at the end, or occasionally. I think once in the 4 days, I was able to poke my head over there during lunch, just because it's just so crazy busy for us over there. We barely ever have any breaks. But then we would be over, just because we're on the stand side. But at any time I came down, for 5 minutes just to piss or try to crush some food, and there would just be tons of awesome people around. It was really cool, man. It saw people, the guys from Europe again. It was like a reunion from some of the old guys. Saw Mr. U. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
This really was a good. This was a really great World Cup. Absolutely.
If you had to pick, you only get one pick for the MVP for the finals MVP. Who would it be?
To be honest,
my pick.
To be going back, I mean, I went back and rewatched the games and took notes because we're working on the 4 Sundays doc, and I just knew when Ryan had hit me up, so I wanted to kind of keep it fresh, because as I'm watching it happen, and then a little bit different when I go back and rewatch it. Sometimes I'll have to watch a game a bunch of times, but so now I've seen it once live, and kind of took notes. I do think that overall, that throughout the weekend, and we had said this during the live show, was that it was so impressive to me for the Dynasty as a team to see how good everyone played, man. I mean, because Skiven was getting some certain guys certain reps. So I mean, Ryan played almost every single point. Marcelo played almost every single point. Blake played almost every single point. So to me, the fact that those 3 guys played, I mean, I would have to give almost every single point. It seemed like And then Alex would get spins, and then Mike would get spins, and Yosh would get spins, and Brandon would get spins. But those guys rotated a little bit more. And so, I mean, if you're talking just specifically finals MVP, I mean, I don't know. It's between Mike and then Blake and Marcelo. But the problem is that Mikey didn't play all the points.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had a really big point where he had a clutch 3-pack. That was in, you know, kind of an important moment. Because if you look at how how it went, you know, Dynasty took the early lead, it's 2-1 Dynasty, and then XFactor comes back, and it goes all the way to 4-2. And then, but also, you know, like Ryan, you were shitting on yourself about how bad you played in the finals, but you had like a moment in when it was 4-2, and if it wasn't for you having, I think, a 3-pack in that specific point, then who knows? Maybe shit is way different. So, you know, I mean, I don't think you deserve the finals MVP, but when I was kind of thinking about it, and we were having to decide if we just had to give one. And I had, you know, as I, you know, throw stuff out there sometimes into the wind while we're doing the show, and people will hit me back up, like with Alex. And this was a little bit different because I was, you know, that one was a little bit different. I'm not, you know, we have to make shit entertaining. So we're talking about stuff, and I'm like, well, what about this guy? And what about that guy? I mean, it was definitely looking like it was going to be Alex, but I just got barraged mostly by other pro players that were just like, it's Alex for sure. Eggs. Fresh eggs. It's Alex. Alex is the MVP. This was at the last event, not this
last
one.
event. Yeah.
At the last event. Definitely not at this event. But this one, and it wasn't really it wasn't pro players. A couple pro players here or there, but it wasn't, I mean, it was more confusing on this one. But I had fans, when I went back and looked later, not at the moment. And, you know, some people were like, oh, it should be Marcelo 100%. You know, if he didn't do what he was doing on the D side, then they don't win. And then other people was like, no, it's Blake 100%. You know, so there was a decent amount of people that both thought Blake and Marcelo should have got it. We've never given 2 MVPs away before, but I think it was deserved. I mean, going back and kind of looking at it, I mean, for finals specifically, honestly, that shit, it makes it even harder. Because if you look at Diamond...
We're losing you, Maddie.
Immediate future. Do you guys still have me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, you still have me?
You're back.
Okay,
You're back.
Yeah, look at it. Wi-Fi. All right. I mean, so, you know, Marcelo had a clutch performance in the finals. Blake had a clutch performance in the finals. Beak had a point or two that were huge. Ryan, like I just said, that when it was 4-on-2, arguably the most important moment in the game, because that's when you guys started your update, your comeback. And then it went blow for blow, you know. After that, it was like 4-3, then 4-4, then you guys took the lead, then 5-5, 6-5, 7-5, and then, I mean, that was a really, really entertaining game. And I've never had a harder time calling an MVP ever for the overall MVP. And even now, even after going back and watching it again, because I was watching it thinking like, all right, if I had to do it again, if we had to do the finals MVP, who would it be? I'm still having a hard time, Kyle. I really am, bro. Like, I don't know. Because again, did you watch it? Have you watched it again? Like, have you? Because I literally took notes. I could walk you through every single move that happened in the game right now.
I haven't watched it again a second time, no. But I did watch it on the webcast. We left the field.
I haven't watched either one. I haven't watched it again. I do want to watch the whole weekend again because obviously it was a great time. But I've been stuck behind the Disney. I've been stuck within Disney's realms and their grasp. So that's gonna happen for me a little later.
Yeah, I was like, what cave are you in right now, dude? You look like you're in a cave.
Yeah, no, I'm actually.
He's in the bathroom.
I'm in the bathroom at the Magic Kingdom right now. The fireworks are about to go off. He hit
the toilet with his jersey and gun.
I brought the backpack in. Somehow I was able to get this in. No, I'm still out here in Florida. I actually drive by the venue every day to go to the Magical Kingdom. If anybody knew how much that headband is that's wrapped around the stroller that we just keep leaving in stroller check, they would pay off their whole entire vacation if they just walked by. I'm like, well, I don't know, we should leave this here. No one knows what that is.
But to go with what you're saying, why it's so hard, that just shows you the magnitude of how this field layout was such a team oriented game. Like, it wasn't just one person that could go. The field was so balanced.
Yeah.
Like, you could blow through the middle and the snake side and the Dorito side, but it's not like you were able to do that every single point. So you needed all the pieces.
Yeah, and it was, and kind of I felt that that's why you guys were looking so dangerous kind of to start, Kyle, because that's Impact strength, is that full court press of aggression. And because you guys have 10 really good players, it is kind of a feeding frenzy for playtime. So when you guys get your spins, you know you need to make the most of them, and that causes guys to be proactive because, you know, Dave's looking for guys to be playing the field the proper way, the position the proper way, and if there's any sort of hesitation, well, you know, then the other superstar is going to get in there and he's going to get more spins. So, and I thought you played great. You personally, I thought, had some really good spins in the prelims, and then, you know, I think you guys just hit XFactor on a hot one because if you look at XFactor's run, starting with their last game of the prelims against Heat, and I remember looking at that side of the bracket, and I was like, and I'll talk about why I think, but if your guys' side of the bracket, remember, the Russians are, you know, not as potent as they once were. No disrespect to the new guys they had this year, and, you know, I thought Waring played admirably. I mean, they were second after the first two events. They made another Sunday. They did, you know, and he wasn't there at the third event. But, and you know, Sergey and Smotrov and Burtnikov are legends and superstars, and they held the line as much as they did. But other than them, you know, he murdered them. But in the quarterfinals. But I was like, dude, you got Impact, XFactor, Heat, and then the Russians. And that being said, just the fact that those dudes are on that team, you never know what the hell those guys could do on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So, you know, if Heat sleeps, maybe they do somehow make it to the corners. But I looked at that and I was like, man, I think whoever makes it at that side of the bracket will be the favorite. Look at every single one of Dynasty's games. I mean, they weren't, like, Ryan, you guys weren't beating the shit out of people for the most part. I mean, there was a couple games that were a little bit better than others as far as the spread was concerned, but you guys had to scrap. You know, you guys had to scrap.
Yeah, you're right, Maddie, but, like, looking back on the points that we lost, even in that XFactor match, you know, like, looking back on the points that we lost, it was, like, stupid. But one of the XFactor points in the finals, we were up 5-on-2, we lost or something. Meter came down, Billy came down. Even in all those other matches prior to that, like, we were up on bodies, we were in control. It was just like, honestly, we felt out of, and I think that goes for everybody, right? Everybody had that same kind of scenario, and everybody could say the exact same thing and make those excuses. But man, we should have been blowing teams out a little bit better or beating teams a little bit better. And then even Aftermath, right? Our Aftermath match came way too close when they scored, like, that quick 30-second point or like a 20-something second point. I'm like, dude, what the, you know? I was even worried on that XFactor match in the 6 seconds. I was like, oh, great. You know, like, what's going to happen? Because that's how that field seemed, is like anybody who needed to score a quick point, they scored it. Which is also, honestly, and like kind of going back to touch on what you were saying is, when I see the bracket like kind of unwind the way it does, I'm like, oh, yes, like, I hope that Heat and Impact lose this so that we can, we don't have to play either one of those guys, but B, like, we win the series. All we have to do is, it's in our control. But I thought that the Russians, I honestly was like, dude, the Russians they have a chance of beating Heat. Like, because, look, they still have arguably like 3 of the top 10 players in the entire world play on that team, you know? And even, like we were saying, Waring was playing really well. Like, they have a strong roster, and it was early in the morning. They were fresh. Like, granted, if they're playing deep into Sunday or, like, at the long, long matches, those dudes get worn out. But, like, I was expecting the Russians to play a lot better than they did. Well,
I think that the issue is that, as, you know, you guys have played on teams where you are, you know, I mean, look at when you guys, I mean, whatever, just pick whatever European team you ever played on.
Right.
And I've been in this spot before, but you go over and you know that if you don't do it, then it's probably potentially not going to get done. And I think that unfortunately hurt Sergey Smotrov and Burtnikov's play this year. Again, not that they didn't have bright spots of excellence, as they always do, but it's a little bit different when you add Karslev and Krillin in the mix, and the results prove that. And again, you know, Waring, you know, he held his own out there. He was only there for 3 events. He was not at the event that they didn't make it to Sunday. I thought Mikey played really good for them as the first attacker on the D side. He got, some really good looks over there. I thought for his career, I mean, I'm looking at him a little bit as he teared up this year. But that fifth body, like Pantalev, I mean, he would hold it down, but they put the Geiger brothers in. They had, Burns in there occasionally. And again, nothing against these guys. But if you want to win tournaments, you have to have 5 elite dudes out there at any given time.
Yeah. And
that's why it helps to have, an Impact roster, a Heat roster, an XFactor roster, a Dynasty roster. That's why it's so good. One of the reasons, Ryan, that you guys have gotten so hard to beat right now is that you finally solved the snake puzzle by having Mike Urena evolve into a goddamn beast.
Yeah.
So it's like that's helps. Really big for you guys and also to get Alex back and have his head in the right space.
Yeah.
So that when he's over there, he's just as good as Mikey is, So it's like, and a little bit slightly more crafty. Mikey's a little bit more of even though Alex is a bruiser, too, when he plays the game, because he's playing as aggressive as anyone else out there. So, but he's really good. Blake has really evolved. He's always been good, but again, there's levels to this shit.
We moved him into the middle, so now he can smash a little bit more and kind of play. Can I tell you a really funny story? And Kyle, you're gonna love this. Sorry to interrupt you, Maddie, but when you said with the Mikey and Alex compliment,
go for it.
So I think it was the aftermath match. Alex and Mikey were both in the snake at the same time. It started to drizzle, so it was cloudy before our match. Okay, it was cloudy before our match. And I go, hey, everybody, change your lenses. And Alex is always the guy that's like, well, I didn't get new lenses. Everybody changed their lenses. So and we all got new goggles. So Alex had worn his goggles for one day because he only practiced with us for one day, and then he went on vacation. So anyway, here's Alex with the same goggles that he had when he got it from practice. And for some reason, because he doesn't put them in a goggle bag, he doesn't use the goggle section of his bag. Alex just throws everything into the duffel bag. His socks, his cleats and his goggles are just sitting in the same pile. He might have his underwear in there, wrapped around his goggles someday. But so anyway, Alex decides to peel off the inner lining of the lenses because they were scratched. Instead of replacing the lenses, which HK graciously gives us for free, Alex just decides to peel off the anti-fog layer of the goggles. And it's dark. I don't know at what point he decided to do this, but I'm like, everybody change your lenses. So pretty much everybody's wearing clear or yellow lenses except for Alex. He's wearing a single pane chrome lens. So now here he is in the snake, him and Mikey are in the same spot. He says that his goggles started fogging and it was coming in like this and coming in like this, and he was like, when your goggles fog and you have to lean your lens up so you can only see through the bottom. And he says Cody Chong or somebody looks around the corner and he pulls the trigger and shoots him.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my vision. And I'm sitting there and I'm shooting. I'm like, yeah, it's kill 3. And I see Mikey's kind of looking around the corner. And I see Alex sitting right next to him. If you rewind it and watch this aftermath match, I run up behind him. I'm like, guys, I think it's kill 3. And I look at Alex and he's sitting Indian style. He's sitting Indian style in his bunker with his gun on the ground and his goggles in his hand, looking at the ground. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? In the 50 snake. Okay? The 50 snake. He's sitting Indian style with his gun on the ground, going like this. And so that's the game I ran up, and I bunkered someone out of the center 50, and then I bunkered someone else in the tower. And then Mikey and then Mikey's like, Alex, you good? Pops up and shoots me, right? I'm on their side, waving it up. So I can only imagine the conversation that Alex and Mikey are having. Hey, Alex, what's going on? Alex is like, I don't know, man. Hold on 1 second. I'm terrified. I can't see. I'm terrified. And he's doing this. He's freaking out. I was like, Mikey, don't do anything stupid. I jump over the thing, bunker everybody. I'm running back. I'm like, all right, guys, game over. Mikey's like, I'm doing it, Alex. And shoots me.
Oh, my God. That's good.
Just the vision I saw. I look over at the two of them. I'm like, what are you guys doing right here?
Well, the moral of the story is, as you started it out with, is that, hey, prepare for rain, and ideally you want to have the right type of lens for the right situation, because, if that shit was back in the 10-man woods ball days, I would have just taken my damn goggles off and cleaned them with my shirt.
Yeah.
Because, that's definitely happened before, but that was back when they weren't going to, come and dive on you and call you out just because if they accidentally saw you do that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But that's the temptation. But that all, it's, that just reminds me of, you were talking about his gear bag when when he came to play the big game.
Yeah.
And he opens up his big. He's like, man, I got something for you. And Alex opens up his bag. And by the way, I had such a good time playing with him at the big game. Dude, big games are so dope, and me and Alex
get out there,
just killing tons of people. But he opens up his bag and he has like just an insane amount of HORMESIS head wraps in there. It looks like a gypsy wagon fortune teller. Like I'm like opened up a little like carnival sales kiosk on the side of the road.
100%.
Like on the way to like the summer festival. Like that's
it's like the coat that he opens, and then there's like 30 headbands on each
like
guy.
a Renaissance
trench coat. He does.
Totally,
He should get one of those. That would be hilarious.
That's exactly what he looked like. And then he pulls out this meat hammers. He pulls out the meat hammers. It's a cream colored one with like the meat hammers engraved on it. I was like, wow, that's fucking sweet. Thank you so much. But I also said, I'm like, you probably might want to hide that gear bag, brother. You got like fucking $30,000 of head wraps in his gear bag, dude. But yeah, that's
That's interesting about the clear lens too. I actually just wanted to test something. I just wore a clear lens for the entire tournament, like rain or shine, just to see the difference. But there was a specific point. I was in the 50 snake, and A-Rod was behind me in that big brick, and he was like, he kept telling me, calm down, and I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here, I'm chill. Like, I was looking inside for that guy to come through the middle, and he was watching over for the guy to come tape. And then after, he's like, dude, I looked at you, and your eyes were so big. I was like, my eyes are always that big. I should just have a chrome lens on so you never see them.
I'm always that terrified.
Like, I'm focused.
I'm always that terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's actually interesting that I think that one of the things I'm
gonna grab another water. Hang on 1 second.
One of the things I wanted to point out, though, and what's up?
He's just grabbing water. You can keep going.
No, I was just saying that it's interesting you said, like, bro, he's like, calm down, Kyle, calm down. Bro, I'm calm, dude.
Yeah,
I'm totally fine. But it's interesting, and is that there's like a really cool saying that kind of, it's more about like regular war, but paintball is a metaphor for war. I mean, if it was the zombie apocalypse, then Dynasty would have taken everyone's shit and taken all of our women back to their village, and they would have like whatever the hell we just had in the stores or like in our storage. They'd have all that. Like that's basically what being the best team of the year means. Their tribe would have won the war, whatever it cost. But it was, and this is what I love about watching. It was really cool to see Sunday at this one because almost every single game was incredibly close. Other than Heat kind of beating up on the Russians a little bit, that was a 6-1 game in the quarterfinals. Every other game was relatively close, and the way that this field allowed the really good players to have some really good looks, and the reason why it made me think of this saying, Kyle, was because of just how calm all these killers are getting when they do their thing. And then the divisional ranks come out, or the younger pro players are playing, and there's a certain franticness to their movements. There's a franticness to their head checks, and I'm not saying that your mind can't be zen if you have what could look like a frantic head check or a frantic snapshot. But for the most part, even like the really quick, like it's like they say, and when you're doing regular gun stuff, it's like slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And so and then we would always say this to guys when we're doing clinics and stuff, is like, hey, you see the guy and he's got all the like fresh shit. He's got the new like Tiger Wear deal or the new HORMESIS head wrap with like a brand new push mask with the skull on it, and he's got the fresh some jersey that he bought for $500 online, like a throwback. Anyway, he's got all the dope stuff. He's got the power stance down. He sets up for the snapshot drill, and he literally misses the target every single time, even though he's like going faster. It's like, bro, hey, can we just pump the brakes real quick?
Yeah,
hey, you look really good right now. I just want to first say that. Looking really fly. However, that dude just blew your fucking head off. Literally 10 times out of 10. So let's go through that again. I want you to go much slower, and I never want you to miss this 20-foot shot.
Yeah.
It's a 20-foot shot, bro. Like, we can't have you missing that 10 times out of 10, like, no matter how cool you look. And I understand, like, look good, feel good, play good, but that shit only goes so far. But the saying is rare is the man where violence is his calm. And that's what I see out of the top players. That's you, Spicka, that's you, Ryan, that's all the players on the top teams, and it's so fun now as a fan because these dudes are getting so good. You got every year it just gets like more refined and more refined. So like the moves, the counter moves, the traps that are being set, the change of like positions and game plans. It's so calm but so violent at the same time that it's so fun as a fan, and I just continue to think that paintball's going in a good place.
Yeah, I mean, we, during that semifinal game that Mouse and I came up there and commentated, called that match with you, we touched on that a little bit about how the flow of the field was. It's like, so you break out, and it's 5-on-5, and then a lot of times you were seeing the team that went down bodies, maybe it's a 5-on-3. It was like almost like 1 out of 3 points that team would realize that and find the hole and blow through and win back the point. But you kind of saw that through the prelims and like through practices, but it got magnified once people got so used to the motions and when that needed to go, that you saw it so much on Sunday. Everything was at a very advanced level, knowing that like, okay, we're going to lose the point here. We got to go. Here's the hole. Let's make that happen. And that was, I think, really cool to watch it develop. And that was across the board on every single team that was playing on Sunday. Like you saw those moves, and it was just, it was cool to see that, because typically it's like some of the fields don't provide that capability. It's like, it's a 5-on-3. Okay, they're gonna have to towel it. It's game over. But that happened more so, I think, than any of the other fields this year, which was a pretty cool aspect. And you had to go between that aggressive play style to the team game to going rogue, using your instincts, also like giving yourself self-discipline and knowing that like, hey, we're 5 up. I'm not just going to go on my own right now and try to win this game. It's a 5-on-4, and that body would be lost. So there was like 3 different levels that you're constantly having to like go through the Rolodex and evaluate and be like, is that correct right now? Like pull back, so it was a very mentally demanding field as well.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I love that quote, because it's so paintball, man. Like, rare is the man where violence is his calm. And so if you can find that calmness of your spirit and that the thoroughness of your mental Rolodex to be able to, because as we well know, that's why we call that shit the scramble. Everything gets mixed up, and whoever hits the spot on the Rolodex the quickest, and then makes that move, he makes their body do what their mind wants them to do, exerts their will on that other person, and exerts their violence on that person, then that's the magic ticket right there. So it keeps getting better, man, every year. And this field really brought it out. Also, I hate doing shout-outs because I love being involved in the people I'm in the show with, but I got to give a shout-out to Dylan Boyum. Reason why he said he's stuck in Phoenix. I got stuck in Phoenix last night, so it was like a long-ass way home.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the fog in San Diego, I don't know. Oh, you're still in Florida. Are you at home right now?
Yeah, I saw the fog start to roll in yesterday, like 4 o'clock.
Bro.
I'm in Disney jail right now.
Yeah, we got on the plane, and then and he's like, yeah, there's a lot of fog in San Diego. We're just checking real quick. And I was like, oh, Christ, here we go. Yeah. And then 10 minutes later comes on, like, I got some bad news for you. And then I look at my phone, it's like, your flight has been canceled. I'm like, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, I landed at 1 in the afternoon, and it was 80 degrees. It's hot. It was just as hot as it was in Florida. And then all of a sudden 4 o'clock came in, this goon goblin fog, spooky came in. It was dropped 20 degrees.
Dude, have you guys ever seen the movie The Fog?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, sorry, The Mist.
Terrible.
The Mist. The Mist.
That's the Stephen King one, right?
It is. You're right. It's a terrible movie, but the end of it, no, it's okay. That movie was the acting was melodramatic. It was kind of like a soap opera.
The ending was
for a Stephen King premise. It's kind of I don't know. To be honest, the movie's slight trash, but the fucking end is so gnarly.
So there's two of them though. There is the fog and there's the mist. Gnarly. I think, isn't there? Isn't there the fog and there's the mist? There's the one. There's the newer one where the government opens a portal, but I believe there's also the fog, which is the fog.
Mist.
That's the mist, and the fog is the one.
I'm talking about the mist.
Okay, the fog is the one where there's someone in there, bro. That hits someone. Let me give a quick shout out. You know what? Give a quick shout out in the air horn to Derek Weagle. I want to appreciate the support, but shout out to the Tropic Thunder dudes, by the way. Maddie, because you've been watching them win in the D5 category every single event that they show up to. Because I've been out in New Jersey twice now, I think 2 times now, and a couple of their guys come out and run some points, and a couple of them were out at the summer camp, the BKI summer camp. But those dudes are crushing it. They need to move up. Time to move up to D4, I think. Shout out to New Jersey, Tri-State.
It's really kind of cool because I feel that the Northeast has had some teams that are getting pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Obviously include that area in there. Puerto Rico came strong to continuing 2 events in a row now. We've seen Puerto Rican teams on that main on center court. Texas continues to be badass. Team Cyclone made it with 2 different squads, and I know how dedicated that roster is. So it's just, it's just interesting. I would like California, please.
Yeah.
Step up, boys. Like, what is going on here?
Well, hold on. The DMG D3 line did well, yeah?
Yes. You're right, yes.
There we go. Shout out to California.
100%.
Yeah.
DMG did hold it down. DMG held it down.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just used to seeing, like, not that recently, but over time, for us to hold it down more.
Shout out to Dynasty, by the way. Shout out to your boys on Dynasty.
Bro, I'm talking about the divisional. Bro, I was literally patting you guys on the back and talking to how about everyone was 10 foot tall, like literally.
Sorry, I haven't been listening for the last hour. I wasn't listening to the last hour.
I mean, do you want me to talk about how you guys are 10 feet tall again? Because I can go right in and
just stroke off
Dynasty again. You want me to stroke Dynasty off right now?
I was 10 foot tall. I'm like 5'4".
Yeah, I think he's talking about me and you on my shoulders.
Oh, you and I put together.
Yeah. That's mostly what he's talking about. Hey, but Maddie, actually, this would be good for you. Maybe one of these events on the WCPBL. We need to get maybe you go out to like one WC. You go to one Texas event, and you go to like one event on the East Coast. So that way you can kind of like get a better judge of talent. Because I always get asked, and I want to give a really big shout out to all the SoCal teams that came out, especially Savage and Zach and Earl and Ray. Bao, all those guys, Paul, that came out, they finished 10th out of 75 in D4. I know that's not Tropic Thunder status, but if you saw where they were at a couple years ago and where they are now, that's a huge leap, and they did it. They placed highest out of all the SoCal teams, and it was really cool to hear and see that all the teams from SoCal in that division were just watching them. They were like the last team that got like the cream that was at the top. They're like, please, everybody was rooting for them, so that was really cool to see. And then they ended up playing 10-man. But you're right, SoCal, we need some teams. Like we thought it was going to be, there was the Pirates forever. There was the Dam's Marine, or not Marine team, but what team is that always plays? There's a Marine team. There's the Vibe guys. There's the Pirates.
Hold on, I'm just going through all my notes right here. Like the divisional stuff is insane, bro. Like we just get, I literally get stuff that looks like this handed to me constantly. It'll either look like this or it'll look, and then this is good. Hey, talk about Tropic Thunder. I don't know who did this for me. Whoever did this for me, this was awesome. Please, can I have more of this? That would be tight. It also kind of looks a lot like this. And this is, but that's still better than nothing, because a lot of times I'll just get this. This is what I get from the NXL, and I really wish they put a number category on here, because it'll be age, position, weight. Also, like these nicknames are, I just don't understand how some of these nicknames are actually like a real thing. Like, how is your nickname just L? Like just the letter L with a period.
Hey, yo, L, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like there's a glitch in the matrix with the algorithm that just creates some random ass bullshit nicknames. But yeah, I'm just kind of going through. Yeah, 787 Chaos was there again. Voodoo took D4. That team was from the Carolinas. Puerto Rican All Stars. Yeah, Tropic Gun. It was. We had, and then Florida's strong, dude. Florida's strong. Texas strong. California is getting better. It's better than it's been a little bit. I don't know who I need to thank for that, but I mean, maybe that's. Is it you guys coaching? Who's coaching these California teams?
Kyle coaches at every WC. I think there's 96 teams. Kyle coaches like 85 of them a day.
Kyle coaches 52 of them.
I see Kyle. Dude, he is. I'll tell you right now, if you need a coach for a team, I like to put my ring in the hat, my hat in the ring on being a really good coach. But Kyle, dude, I've never seen anybody be able to do what he does. I see him. His lips are chapped. His eyes are. He's like everything's chapped on his face. He's like, dude, do you have any sunscreen? I've got another game right now, and he's like, I've got. He'll have like. I think you did like 4 or 5 teams, and dude, you're like, you know every single guy's name on every single team. You coached like 4 teams into the finals. Like, what's gonna happen is when you have to coach teams that are against each other.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be a doozy.
Yeah, dude, I'm incredibly impressed with how well Kyle does at these.
I love it. I think when I'm done playing, I'll probably coach.
Dude,
it's
Kyle,
fun for me.
I remember you coaching at what one of the, was the MVPS? No, it was the like the tournament for BKI.
Yeah.
Down in Florida at maybe MVPS. But that was kind of the first time I saw you coach. You were still playing with Ironman at the time, and you did remind me of like a tinier version of Todd Martinez, because you know, even though Todd is very much mellowed out in the past year and a half, this was during the time when Todd loved to just berate the refs and kind of just really get super emotional about it. But you were really into it, dude. And I remember like looking and saying at the time, like, dude, Kyle Spicka is coaching the shit out of this team right now. This is awesome, dude.
He's a dominator, bro.
Yeah.
He's really, really, really good, man. He's like,
you even had this like specific stance that you would do, which I don't know if like I have room to do, if I could do it. But you have this like where you kind of like you like put your like hands behind like this, and you kind of like walk around like Napoleon like this, you know, kind of like with your chest puffed out, like just staring, judging, like criticizing everybody, and then like you're kind of like you lean forward when you're out the refs, and you kind of do this like nod thing with your chin, and then you come back to your hands behind your thing. It's pretty hilarious, dude. It's great. You absolutely crush it as a coach, at least from the little bit that I've seen.
I was also just reminded, before Kyle even gets a chance to defend himself, the Hunters and the Gummy Bears are both teams that I know the Hunters are going to be playing semi-pro next year, and man, they're good, dude. They play really well. They didn't have a great showing at World Cup for whatever reason, but they're a strong team, man.
Yeah.
The Gummy Bears just need to change their names, but whatever. That's not gonna happen.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Wait, I have a question. I have paintball leagues open on this other tab here. What's the D4 team that won all the events this year? I don't know how they did at World Cup though.
Oh, that's Logan Hansel's team from Texas.
Was it? Oh, it's Coalition. That's right.
I
so
thought
they
it
got
was Shut Up,
fifth.
they're trying
I was trying to look.
yeah.
I'm sure they won the series, but
I was going to say, we didn't see Coalition at Cup. That's because they took 5th. But, yeah, and then you're talking about D4 Expo?
Yeah. That would have been pretty cool to see a team win every single event. I don't think that's been done.
Oh, Dynasty did it, but whatever. That was a long time ago.
No one was playing you guys at the time, dog. We were all in the NXL.
You were, fool.
When was this?
I don't know. You know. You were there.
It might have been. Was that... That doesn't count. We can't count that year. Yeah, you and I had an awesome rivalry, and you guys definitely got the better of us. I mean, we won some tournaments, but all the other good players were contractually liable to be playing for the NXL in a different era of the NXL.
Yeah,
this is long ago, because look at all the gray in my beard and shit. But
yeah, 75 D4 X-Ball teams. That's crazy.
Yeah, and those the Savage guys took 10th, I think. 10th or 11th. So shout out to give a little air horn for them and everybody else who's listening. You know,
that's awesome.
That's the best that SoCal did right there. So real quick, speaking of Southern California and California in general, Maddie, the Combine is coming to Sacramento at Capital Edge Paintball Park.
You're going up there this weekend, right? For the anniversary.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Are you going there this weekend?
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Let me text Short. I think so.
Haven't told Camille that one yet?
Well, I'm pretty sure she might have just heard.
Well, I didn't know if you were for sure going. I know I was. I just
forgot. I'm still reeling in the Disney and World Cup win. Yes, I am going.
Yeah. And Short's going up there. Probably Alex, some of those NorCal Dynasty guys up at Dave's Field.
Yeah, we're running it. That's right. And we got the Combine. I know the WNXL is going to be scouting up there as well for the Sacramento Diamonds. How was the women's NXL debut, Maddie?
it was really cool, to be honest. I mean, I grew up with a very strong mom and a badass sister. You guys have met my sister.
Your sister,
she's rad.
she's a badass.
She's not like a badass and like she's gonna go and play in the WNXL, but she's mentally very tough and she's a badass. Anyway, I grew up with strong women in my life. So my grandmother was a beast. She was only 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing, but like talking about people whose spirit's 10 feet tall. That woman is still in my mind 10 feet tall, and she's been dead for 10 years. But so I think it's really cool. And I thought it was a really fun showing. The Team Fire did beat up on Team Ice. I'm hoping I get that right. I could go back and check my notes real quick. Yeah, but I think that's what it was. Let me look real quick. Team Fire beat up on Team Ice, and it was an interesting story because Team Fire had more of the current girls and women that have been playing a little bit more competitively more recently, and then Team Ice was more kind of some of the legends in the female game that have been playing on teams throughout the years, which I thought was really cool. I thought, yeah, dude, I don't know, this is like kind of a no-brainer. Unless you're an asshole, like, yeah, let the girls play. It's like with the Major League Baseball, they're like, let the kids play. That's the new people coming on in the sport. These like Fernando Tatis Jr., like doing bat flips and hitting like 500-foot home runs. And then like dudes are trying to throw at their heads because, they're just trying to have a good time out there. And as a baseball fan, I'm kind of like, dude, who gives a shit? Like let them flip the bat, So unless you're an asshole, yeah, like let's let these girls play because they got after it. It was really fun. There was some girls out there that were, what was it, was either Blanco or Blanca sisters. Girls had some wheels. They were taking tons of ground and being very aggressive. Ben Challenger's Brittany Vang, I believe is her name. I think we gave her the MVP. I actually, even though she didn't win a one-on-one, I'm like, we need to give her some sort of award. So as Anthony was leaving, I flipped a red and gold coin down to him. And I was like, go give this to Brittany Vang for an MVP award because she deserves something.
That's sweet.
Yeah, because she was just balling out. The tendencies are there, the aggressive tendencies. These girls were getting after it. They were playing aggressive. It was fun. You could tell. They were having a good time, and so kind of looking forward to seeing what develops with that, and then definitely I think there's going to be 6 teams next year. Why in the living shit would we keep half of our species away from playing this game competitively? That's how I look at it. So, that's everyone's like, hashtag grow the game. Oh, okay, well, do we want half of the people that are human beings that could potentially paintball to be in some way, shape, or form kind of not be able to do it for whatever reason? And not that they can't do it as it is now, but yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer. I think it's dope.
Even the kids' game was really cool. I think that was on Saturday after we had the last set against Damage.
The kid,
yeah, that was
kids'
great.
game. I had no idea.
Alex was out.
I had no idea that was happening.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Alex was out on the field for that, like in there, like coaching those guys, dude. Alex was there all day. Like you can't say enough good things about him.
Dave was trying to get me to grab one of those jerseys and then like put my mask low and go out there and try to play, see if I can get it there.
Dude, that's fucked up, bro. What are you talking about? I didn't do you like that.
Just run through on the Doritos. I know.
Yeah.
There was a couple kids that, that's a little bit of a mismatch because there were, and I literally had no idea. Like I knew that the WNXL was going to go down, so we had some time to prep for that. I had no idea the kids game was happening. I'm like, think we're done, and then they're like, no, there's this. I get handed like another sheet of papers, and and I'm thinking I'm looking at it, and I'm like, no idea what this is. No one told me about anything but this, and then so like we're gonna do a kids exhibition match, and I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And then so B came up. But it was kind of funny because there was a moment where, and thank God B was there because we don't know who any of these kids are. She knew who almost all the kids were. She had all the information, so thank God she was there. But her kid was playing, so she kind of had to do double duty because her phone was on, and then her daughter's out there, so she gets a phone call while we're live, and she's like, "Hey, I have to take this call," and then because we kind of jumped into it, so I didn't give her the. Okay, this is, Kyle and Ryan, as you guys well know, it's like, this is on, this is off. Here's your talk back button. If you have to cough or turn the microphone off, hit this. Please don't touch the microphone because if you do, it's going to sound like somebody hit it with a sledgehammer for everyone at home, especially if you have headphones on. So anyway, so she then, the call comes in and she's like, oh, I got to take this. And I'm like, oh, please, dear God, don't. In my head, I was like, please, dear God, don't take this call. You know, we're like live doing the show, right? But she's like, it's about baby, you know, her kid. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, go for it. You know, like we got being rich, it's cool. So then she doesn't really turn the mic off. So she's trying to do her due diligence. So she like turns around, you know, and she's like on the phone over here. She's like, can you please tell baby to stop cussing? Tell her to stop cussing, because apparently
with the mic on.
Yes, with the mic on. So apparently because her kid who had an amazing point, who ran down and shot everybody, but then apparently came back and was just throwing F-bombs or whatever in the pits. And
oh my God!
Somebody was like, "You got to call B," or maybe I don't know exactly.
We're gonna call your mom.
Yeah, we're gonna call your mom.
If you don't stop cussing, we're gonna call your mom.
Yeah, so that was quite hilarious, and I'm just like, oh, this is solid gold, bro. I can't believe this is happening right now.
Awesome.
I watched her eat a lot, like catch a tuna, like what is this, 4 weeks ago? The deckhand guy pulled the tuna's heart out of the mouth, and she goes, yeah, I'll eat it. What is Bebe, like 14-year-old girl? 15-year-old girl?
I don't even think she's 14. I think she's like 12.
She ate this heart, and I was like, I know we eat some pretty messed up stuff, but I wasn't gonna do that. Because we were on a fishing trip with the modern day pirates and the whatever they're called, and Pax and Miko, and she ate the heart right out. She just poured some soy sauce on it and just fired that thing in there, and she was like, they're big too. It was like a full mouthful.
Hey, that's Mike Paxton, and that's Mike's daughter for sure, bro.
Yeah,
like, she's
100%. She didn't even think twice about it. Like
that's
didn't even
badass.
like wasn't even like. She was like,
Yes,
well,
so
like,
definitely
it's kind of salty. Like I was gagging. I was like,
yes, she's a little mini savage, dude, and that's actually really cool. I love it. So I'm all about that. Yeah. But it was just kind of funny. But I was really happy that she played well, and then there was what was one of the kids? There was this one kid too. He had name was Dominic. He looked like a little mini Thomas Taylor from 2004. The dyed mohawk, and he goes through, has a point, hits the buzzer, and then he's coming back, and he's like, he tried to do every of the like major signature celebrations, the six Ellie's. He did like Trevor Reesers, but he was like, I give all of his six Ellie's like a C, but I give him an A for the attempt. But he definitely came through, and he like tried to do Trevor Reesers barrel drag, and then into like Pat Craft's loader dump, but he didn't have any more paint left. So he had to try to open the top of his loader, but he wasn't strong enough to, with one hand, because I think the kid's like 10, open up the loader with one hand. So then he tries to open it with one hand, then he has to like put it in between the crowd's going crazy too. He puts it in between his knees, he does like the whole load, and then after like a bunch of, moments, finally then does the loader dump, and it was just, it was great. He was living his best life.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that kid. He comes out to a lot of these. He was out in Chicago. Or Philly. He was in Philly or Chicago also. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
That's great.
Wait, so, Ryan, what were the story you were going to tell us about Blake and Rainey, I think?
Blake and Rainey. Well, actually, a bunch of people were asking about exactly what was going on with Rainey between us, the team, and Rainey in general, which is actually great because it was like, what did you say to Rainey? What did Blake say to Rainey? What did, what's up with Rainey? Rainey is slimy but genius.
It is.
He's incredibly good. Tenacious. I mean, obviously he was in the running for MVP last year at World Cup. He got them in. He was dealing with the injuries and stuff like that. But I think we won the first point, and I think point number 2 he just bonus balled the shit out of me. I'm like I was over by the center camera, like 20 feet outside of off the line, like not anywhere near like, oh, I'm gonna accidentally bonus ball you. And he was in that brick on the snake side. He just goes and just walks me off the field. You saw him do it to Tyler also.
He did it to a bunch of dudes.
He did it to a bunch of people.
did it to Tyler. That was scary. I think Short.
that was scary.
I said that to like a group of our guys, and it's Short's in there. He goes, "Dude, Rainey has a death wish doing that to Tyler."
Yeah, and I mean, he shot Tyler in the neck and like just roasted him, But dude, it's brilliant in a way, right? Because obviously Rainey's a bag of bones. Barely, he's like a skinnier, weaker version of Alex Frazier. He's like a more slender, skinnier,
much taller.
Much taller. Like he's like Alex's weight, but like just stretched out on like one of those medieval torture devices. And for him to do that, it's obviously he's not trying to fight anybody, but what he wants is that headbutt that Mouse gave him that in what was that, last 2 years ago. And Mouse, arguably like the best guy on Impact, gets out. The best guy in the league, gets kicked out. So if he can get into Tyler's head, or if he can get to my head, and I'm like, what does he think I'm gonna do? And I do something stupid though, or Tyler does something stupid, penalty, and I'm out. I'm ejected, right? And because you're allowed to bonus ball, unless you're Oliver Lang, that's why Oliver doesn't play paintball anymore, by the way, is because of the refs and the fact that no matter what happened, he would always get in trouble for bonus balling people. Kyle, you've been on his team.
Yeah.
You fucked up Archie that one time.
That one time I shot him in the back.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like, Rainey's brilliant in that is because his goal is to not only outplay everybody, but to kind of like he's a very smart person. And he's just trying to get into everybody's head. So he bonus balled the hell out of me. Bonus balled the hell out of Blake. And then he got me another time. And then, like, that one point that you were talking about, Maddie, where I think I shot like 3 or 4 guys, but Rainey was the last guy in the snake corner. I shot him down the tape. And he walked off. And I don't bonus ball anybody. Like, I don't. Because I'm just not a dickhead. And I just don't think that way. But when Rainey was walking off, like, I just gave it to him. And there he was, like, crying for the penalty. He's like, oh, he's shooting me. When he looks like one of those inflatable things that are on selling cars on the side of the road when he does it. And I apologize to the refs because I always feel like, God, I just did something horrible right there. But I was like, dude, listen, guys. And they're like, they didn't even say anything. They don't care until it gets out of hand.
I just a couple things. One, I wanted to say something about who's this in the chat. Because he's paying, so we should probably talk about his comments for sure. That's how things work in the world.
Yeah.
But they brought up some important shit, which I thought was great, but this is a totally different situation. Because Blake, absolutely in your game against Infamous in the semifinals, completely put Harrison into the ground. Which was totally appropriate at the time, because Harrison made a move to try to shoot Mike. He gets shot. Mike's still alive. But Blake is now putting a very accurate stream right over the top of Mike's head, but he got shot so much that he kind of took him a second to get up, but he was really slow to get up, and so I would have done the exact same thing that Blake did in that situation. It's like, dude, get off the field, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you're dead, but I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are you going to try to sneak a shot underneath your arm? Right. I don't know, but if you are, unless you're actually hurt, I would have done the exact same thing, but Harrison caught a ton to put him to the ground, and then he caught a ton more when he was slow to get off. I mean, he probably walked off with, 15 to 20 shots. But that was a little bit different type of bonus balling. The type of bonus balling that you're talking about that Rainey's doing, which I think for Rainey is 100%, I agree with you, Ryan, is kind of genius.
Yeah.
Because Rainey wants to get in people's head. Rainey is, I don't think he's under any illusions that he's going to be out there beating dudes up in the parking lot. Right. Rainey knows that that's not going to be the case.
It's not
but
malicious.
He does know that.
Yeah, exactly. Well.
But he knows that, but he does know that people lose their damn minds sometimes in pressure situations, and he's going to try to sucker you into a bad decision. Just like he suckered Mouse in that bad decision. That wasn't even really a headbutt. That was more of like a lens thrust than it was a headbutt. But Blake kind of did the same thing to Rainey as Mouse did a little bit. I don't know if you. So when you go back and rewatch the game, and we caught a perfect angle on this, but after a point, and it was kind of deep in the game, but as XFactor's coming off, and Blake, who was. Blake's always pretty hype, but I love that he was doing, because I love Mad Max in the Thunderdome, because I'm a sucker for apocalyptic shit. I have a ton of apocalypse books back here and all sorts of crazy stuff from back in the day. But when he was doing the whole thing, and I think Nico caught it on our social media for Ghost Sports, but he runs over and he's hyping the crowd up, and he comes back and he's doing the spray the silver paint in his mouth, witness me, right. Doing that whole thing. And he's got this gnarly, Viking beard right now. It looks like Ragnar Lothbrok, so that shit was tight. But no, it was dope. But so Blake's hyped up, and then he goes right up, into Rainey's face and kind of said a little something. But But honestly, all of that is just poker tricks, bro. That's all poker tricks. That's all Rainey's doing. He's trying to sucker people in and get you to make a stupid mistake and do something that's going to get you a penalty, and you go to paintball prison, and then all of a sudden, like, now you don't have mouse for a whole game.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I remember this, like, when I think it was like Zach Patient or something like that, bonus balled me. Remember this? Kyle, you were on the team back in Dallas. It was like Infamous beat us in the one time they beat us in the last 10 years or something like that. So they were really excited, but I got bonus balled. Like, he just shot me in the back like 20 times, 10 or 15, 20 times. Everybody's screaming. I'm like, look, guys, I don't care. Like, I know what I'm out here doing. Like, you're not going to get in my head like that. But what is genius about the whole idea of bonus balling isn't like, I understand like getting in someone's head by like, trying to frustrate them. But what I always tell people to do, and this is like when I'm coaching my team and stuff like that, dude, if you know that there's guys like myself, or there's guys like Archie, or, you know, the guys that turn points around and have to play every single point, dude, the worst way to really, really get in my head isn't just shoot me a bunch, it's to shoot the shit out of my pack, or my goggles, or my gun.
Your gun.
Like, get those spots, like, when I have to come off and I have to clean out my trigger guard, or, like, there's paint all over my loader and you're trying to get all that stuff off, like, you can shoot me in the body as many times as you want. Like, it doesn't affect me whatsoever. Like, I've been playing paintball for 25 years. Like, it doesn't hurt. I don't care. But if you shoot my gun a bunch, or there's paint in my pack that I have to get, or you break the pods, and God forbid I don't notice that, like, my pod got shot so many times that, like, the paint in there broke, and then I go and load it in the next point. Like, that's how you get in someone's head.
Or what happened to Chad George? He had a broken pod, and he got called out for that, which was a mistake from the refs. But that
that was that one. I didn't tell you that. Right.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I saw it. I was standing there on the sidelines.
Oh yeah, that was a rough one.
That was a rough one. And I was actually going to bring that up when he said that Todd doesn't yell at the refs very much, except for that point.
Oh yeah, which I mean that was a crucial moment for him. I mean, I saw Todd at the air. Actually, Todd and I both got stuck in Phoenix last night. He had his whole family there, so I was lucky enough to have like enough status on American that by the time, and Todd was at the very front of the 200 person line, so he texted me and he was like, hey, get up here to the front. And I go up to the front there, and we were like the fifth people up out of the 200 something people, and they're like, oh, Mr. Marshall, you've already been rerouted on to the next one. And I don't even have like anywhere near Ryan Greenspan type status, but it was enough apparently to get me onto the 8 o'clock in the morning flight. But Todd had his wife, his 2 kids, and 2 people that work for him there. So I don't even know exactly how they ended up getting out of the madness. But but I did see Todd at the bar before we got on the plane, and he was just saying how he's like, look, dude, I've been trying not to yell at the refs, and I feel like I've been doing a good job of it. I'm like, well, yeah, I feel like you are too. That first event, not that bad, and you guys got knocked out, and then the second event you win, so everything was going great. So you're probably not going to be yelling at the refs much when your dudes are slaughtering people. But he has been much more tame, much more controlled. But yeah, I wouldn't say he lost his shit. He was just basically saying, hey, this was a bad call, which it was. And Jason apologized for it. Like, that won't happen again. Our bad. But yeah, that type of stuff's can happen. But when you bonus balls dudes in the pods, that's what can happen. So, that's part of it.
I thought, what Blake's saying when he like got up to Rainey, like kind of like bumped into him. I was like, oh, that's riding the line for sure there.
He came really close though, dude. Like I watched it again today. He didn't bump into him. He basically came and like, I would say he glazed his lens as he came up into his face.
And
then kind of like, I don't know exactly what he said, but gave him a little piece of his mind, kind of, nodding his head like this. And Rainey didn't really say anything back. I mean, at that point in time, but again, dude, Rainey's he's gonna play mind games with you. That's one of the reasons that Rainey is as good as he is. He's gonna play mind games with you. He likes to get up. Everyone gets up in their own mind a different way, and that's part of Rainey trying to get in your head, but also getting himself up too, because he does that.
He's a master of the psychological warfare out there.
Yeah, and that's important. That's important. So.
Rainey should have flopped right there. That would have been great. Just fell back.
Yeah,
Blake, what did she do?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit, but I'm guessing you're saying something about how he's playing like mental, magical sorcerer, mind sorcerer warfare.
Well, and then I was just saying that would have been really funny if Rainey would have just flopped as Blake did that.
He should have.
Yeah.
honestly, that might have got Blake into trouble because Blake did it so smooth that I don't think that a ref would have done it because Blake didn't go in with any sort of velocity. He kind of just nuzzled up in his face almost a little bit. Yeah. So it was.
I think like Rainey was like looking down at the grass, and like Blake got his eyes in contact with Rainey's eyes. Like, what's up?
like when a dog really wants to get your attention.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's great.
No, that was totally.
Awesome. Yeah, that's that was a big thing of like what was it? What is it? What was Rainey? How about Rainey? Like, because afterwards, he was like, asking us the question. Everybody was like, well, what happened? And as soon as the match, at that 6 second, sorry, Frazi's calling me, at that the last 6 second point, because after he just bonus balled the hell out of me and Yosh had some choice words for him, and that last one, like, after he hit the buzzer, we were still up by 1. There were 6 seconds left. I figured they were going to burn it. Took my goggles off on the field, which should have been a penalty, but we'll not talk about that.
No, I wanted to bring this up. I was laughing my ass off when that happened, dude. So
I was like, it's over, dude. Like, we won.
No, you're not wrong. It was definitely over, but it wasn't over because there was time left.
Yeah.
But I just remember as it's going on, we even said something like, "Oh yeah, well, I mean." Ryan was so heated and so excited that he just took his goggles off on a live field.
I
mean, and
I put my gun down.
You do get the you get the kind of like about to be world champ grace period. It's like immunity essentially because I'm really going to call a penalty. But this is the type of ticky tack bullshit that they used to call back in the day. That I'm really glad that you didn't get called for this. It's like, come on, man. Literally, but you did it at the exact right moment, and also you just gave. I mean, I think I counted. There was like 14 photographers surrounding you at the time, so all those dudes needed that shot.
Dude, I almost threw my goggles and my pack up into the stands. I thought it was over. I'm like, who runs a 6 second point? So, but I'll tell you what. When I went back out there, because I had hits all over my pack, and I was about to go out there with no pack, I was like. That's it. Like, so Billy ran down one side and someone ran down the other side, and I popped over the top. I'm like, where the hell is Rainey? The horn went, and I was still ready to shoot him. But he was smart. He went out there and shot his bait and then just hid. He was like, I'm not trying to go and get the buzzer. He knew he wasn't going to try to get the buzzer. He was just... Was
Alex trying to FaceTime you? You might be able to get all 3.
Let's see what he's looking for. Yeah, I can get him on the horn. You guys want to talk to Alex? Alex?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because all right, let me add him to the
He's
call.
He's good for a couple jokes.
Yeah, he's good. He's on his jokes right now. Let me see if I can add him to this call, or I have to call you guys right back.
I think you have to call us right back.
Let me call you guys right back right now.
Chat.
All right, guys, this is a good one so far. Oops. So far, so good. Let's get Fragy in here because he just hit me up, and I want to thank everybody so far. I'm gonna give you guys all a massive air horn. Get a big thank to Dalton Gilbert and Derek Weagle. We're getting the trifecta here going. This is close to a really good 5-man team we got going on here. There you go, on the horn. It's okay. We got Maddie's back. Okay, Maddie's back.
We're back.
We're back, baby. We're back.
We're back.
Kyle forgot that I was going to call him, I think. Let's see what they have the 4-way. We got the Alex Fragy emojis coming in here. And just so everybody knows, while you're waiting here, we are going to be spinning the wheel. I know that a couple of you guys are waiting for that. We've got a HORMESIS headband to give away. We've got a couple of these bands here to give away right here. Just came in. Reversible Spick and Span bands. And Champions Club members are going to be walking away with a set of rings here. So it looks like those guys didn't want to answer. Let's ring them again. Anyway, but yeah, we're gonna do Cutthroat. Also wanted to show you guys. I know a bunch of you guys. So Maddie, did you hear about the Champions Club membership thing that we're releasing?
Hey,
oh, there he is.
Hyping it up for you guys.
Thanks, dude.
You guys have any up, dog? What's up, dog? Do you watch that show?
What show?
That's I don't know, what is it? It's like that quirky vampire show. You would love it, probably. I don't know. It's a show I was watching with the wife for a bit.
Twilight?
No, definitely not. Fuck Twilight, bro. I'm not trying to get down on some, like, emo vampire bullshit. Too old for that shit.
I went out with this cross-eyed girl for a while. We didn't get along because we couldn't see eye to eye.
You got any more dad jokes, Dad? How many more dad jokes you got?
Are you at Disney World also?
I'm at the Disney World of work.
That's his own type of ride.
Yeah.
We called you to see what your thoughts were on the layout. What you thought about the
What do you think
layout.
about the layout, Al? Alex, did you hear the story that I told about you with your goggles fogged
Reminds
up,
me of,
sitting Indian style?
Reminds me of Tampa Bay, 2005.
Yeah, Field 1, Kevin Yantosh is right. Field 1 is Disney World. It's actually more like a carnival. We had glass blowers. We had guys juggling outside.
I'm trying to bring it back, man.
Yeah.
Golf carts, slushies.
I saw Billy Zaransky, and that's what I said. It's the Super Bowl of paintball. Drunken slushies, golf carts, funnel cakes.
Oh man.
Where you come to get your ass pounded by aftershock.
Alex, we said that you need a big trench coat, and then you could just open it and it has like 30 headbands on each
Dude,
side.
already on that.
Good.
Please
Yeah.
do that. That would be
Yeah.
so sweet.
That was Oliver's idea for a while ago. I wanted to do that for Wayne, but like a watch salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, no, I had said that going and when you're like, Maddie, I got a present for you, and you open up your bag, it literally looked like what the inside of the velvet-robed gypsy kiosk would look like at like a county fair in like 1800. You know what I'm saying? It's just all these the pleasures of the hormesis world. They're all locked inside of your gear bag.
Totally.
Maddie,
Gypsy shit.
Maddie, I want you to think of before we wrap things up at some point in time. I want you to think of a piece of trivia that you could ask everybody who's watching, so we can give away one of the prizes to somebody. You don't have to think about it right now, but just think of a piece of trivia that we could use here to give everybody.
Alex, I do want to say thank you for you were my #1 fan in the stands.
Dude, I love you, man. I got a fucking pump off of you. I love rooting for people now.
Yeah.
For some reason. I don't know why. It makes me feel good, and I'm the people that I like.
Maddie, Alex was like the only one. He's like, go, Kyle, let's go. And then I think skinnier than was like, stop being mean to him. He's like, I'm not. I mean it sincerely.
No sarcasm. I legitimately wanted to crush people.
Yeah.
I'm fucked, dude. I'm the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. See, that's the problem, Alex. Like now you're just like glowing positive spirit, and you were just this salty vet. I even said that during the show at one point in time. I'm like, I can't call Alex Frazee the salty veteran anymore because he's just so happy and so pleasant about everything and so positive. He's not salty anymore. I can't
he's salty,
keep calling him
dude.
the salty veteran.
He's salty.
Yeah.
It's just a front, the happiness. So what's the deal, Kyle? You a free agent?
I mean, no, I don't know.
You're under contract?
No, I'm not under contract.
But you're not leaving.
No. For the right
I'm
price.
not leaving at the moment, no.
Did you fly in a private jet?
We did on the way to the tournament.
Well, no wonder you're not fucking leaving. All right, I get it.
That was a loaded question.
I had the fucking seat right by the shitter in the very back of the plane. Swear to God. The door opened like this in my face every time someone went to the bathroom. Got a whiff of their feces.
Yeah. You might want to get tested for pink eye, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Hey, Camille.
Oh, they can see you.
Yeah, we can see Camille.
Yeah, she's just standing there. They can see the
What's
funny
is Ryan's your computer screen and then like the series champ NXL thing and like some sort of beer mug and now
it was water, but yeah, you guys. So the view that everybody sees on the other side of the camera is this makeshift this gypsy tent of stuff that I propped up behind me to try to cover up the wall in some way, shape, or form. I've got my World Cup goggles. I've got a field one, basically anything. I got a pack of Hormesis cards right here. But what you guys are looking at is what looks like a police scene of a spotlight shining on the face on a blank wall behind that, and then Camille.
Wait, are we on the show right now?
Yeah, we're on the show, and Ryan's live from the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom at Disney.
He's live from the every shitty Florida patio that we've all stayed at with the terrible yellow light and then a mosquito net probably surrounding them. So
there's a mosquito net all the way.
Pterodactyl bugs that live in Florida will come and suck your blood.
Well, the good news is how's your relationship after 2 days at Disney World?
Dude, we crushed it. I actually, you know what got me extra brownie points, especially after Camille enjoying the celebration dinner harder and more excitingly than any other Dynasty player on the team, aside from Skinny
She
Kevin.
worked you at that dinner, bro. She embarrassed the hell out of you.
But I hit her with the. We walked around Disney. We did like 7 miles, and I hit her with the massage gun last night on the calves and the feet, and she said she loved me again.
I thought that
That's
you
it?
guys
Dude,
wanted
Ryan,
to-
I gotta hand it to you, man.
And
You
I
have
massaged
grown-
you too, Alex.
I know. I was just gonna talk about that. Ryan has grown so much as a person. Like, I got there and I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
this
my
is gonna
hamstrings
be
are
a
kind
compliment.
of tight, and he's like, lay down on the bed. Here's a popsicle.
Pull your pants down.
Yeah, pull your pants down, and just massage my hammies, and it was so nice, man.
The best part is that
I
Camille
agree.
doesn't know you well enough that when you said Ryan has grown so much as a person, she thought you were actually going to compliment me right there.
I
I said,
am though. I mean,
stop.
that's a cool thing to do. You're actually trying to help me. Before you would have been all weird about that.
Yeah. Well, I knew that your legs were still achy from Philly, or from Chicago.
Yeah.
He just threw me under the bus about dinner.
So yeah, incoming innuendos.
Thank you, Alex.
Incoming. They've been here the whole time, girl.
Yeah. So Brent Lestovka said he loved the old man cane walk. Describe your
Oh, that was
perspective.
so good.
Describe your
That
perspective.
was
Oh, go ahead. Matt,
no, I was laughing my ass off when he did it. He did it twice. It was great.
And then
Thanks, guys.
and
Yeah,
then he
no,
said-
it was actually inspired by Yoda when right before he fights Count Dooku, he like limps in, and then he starts doing like twirly whirlies.
and then
we
Brent.
have a video of that.
And then
I
yeah,
want to
there's a
see
video
it.
on the webcast. And then Brent also asked, describe how terrified you were while your goggles were fogged up next to Urena and the snake. Then Urena popped up and shot Ryan in the head. How terrified were you when he said, "Oh no, Alex, I shot Ryan"? And what was going on through your head right then?
I didn't hear him say I shot Ryan. So I was laying there next to Mike, and literally my goggles were like fogging, and it was like closing in. Like my vision was getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And I knew the guy was right in front of him, so I'm like, all right, here are my two options. If this guy doesn't try to come make a mistake, I've got to go bunker him right now because I've got, maybe 20 seconds left before I'm just completely blind. So
One eye closed,
yeah,
just looking
and
through a little.
the messed up part is I had ripped the thermal out of my lens because the lens was an older lens.
You got it last weekend. Stop
Perfect
it.
timing.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
and it
brand
was
new
just
goggles.
a single lens, so there was like once it fogged, it's over unless you like wipe it out. So right as it's like tunnel vision coming into like this, I see the guy's gun come around the corner, and I shoot him with the gun. I'm like, get out, whoever it was. Who were we playing there? Aftermath or somebody?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I was like, yes, I did my job, and then the rest of the game, I was like sitting cross-legged, like trying to like get air into my goggles, and then we won the point. I didn't even know Mike shot you.
That was nice channeling your inner Davey Williams right there. I shot my guy. So I was.
Yeah, I did. I shot my guy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You should have started doing push-ups or something funny.
One guy did
Alex
say
can only
in the
do
first
one
game of the
push-up.
finals, I slide in there and Billy Bernaccia like runs. It's the same situation except he tried to jump into the 50 snake and I was like laying in the little insert part. And
Still
I
with the
shot him
same
on
mask?
Yeah, no, I had a new mask. I was all, get out, Billy, on your shoulder. And some guy in the crowd's like, nice shot, Alex. I was all, thanks.
You said it to him?
Yeah.
For the snake?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no pressure.
Thumbs up.
Man.
Yeah.
Gunner, Sloan is asleep, which is which is why I'm able to do this show for so long right now. She gets worn out for sure.
Yeah, they brought Sloan to Charlie's, and she was like zonked, man.
Dude, she was ripping it at the paintball tournament, dude.
Yeah, she had a lot of energy.
She had so much fun. She had more. I don't understand it.
Well, she was in
Dude.
her element.
Yeah.
Paintball is the greatest place for kids, dude. Think about that. Running around, bare feet, you get to play with the paintballs. But like,
What is your
little,
favorite-
yeah, kids love that.
Yeah.
Paintball's
Exactly.
fun, man.
Alex,
Paintball's fun for everybody.
you summed it up right here.
Play like a kid.
There you go.
What was it?
You know, I will say,
HORMESIS.
one of the
like a
highlights
kid.
of my entire weekend was helping out with the kids game, under 17 game. It really kind of, puts things into perspective and also gives hope that you don't really see all the time, at least consolidated for like the future of pro paintball. Like there's some kids in there that really are aspiring to be pro paintball players one day.
Mm-hmm.
And, seeing them out there and grinding. And I got a couple really nice messages from a few of the kids afterward. And, it was like me, Nick Sloviak, and a couple other guys like out there just mixing it up and trying to help out. And the funny part was I was trying to help these kids out with their game plan. I'm like, where we're going? He's like, yeah, I'm going here. I'm like, all right, here's what you want to do. You want to like take a step out here so this guy can't shoot you. You want to shoot right there. And he's like, he looks at me because I'm pointing at the bunker where he's going to go. And he's like, don't point at it. And I'm like, dude, I didn't say this, but I was like, dude, they're way down there. They can't see us, I was like, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
We're walking by the XFactor guys, and Alex is like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to this bunker." Dude, stop talking right in front of you. Dude, Jesus Christ, it's the finals, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah. Whatever. They know we're going to these spots. God damn it, dude.
Maddie, a bunch of people are asking, did you find those cameras that got stolen? Or the lenses?
God damn it. No, we haven't. Yeah, let it be known, I fucking hate thieves. And
Yeah.
the second that we got done with the finals, I walked down and our crew was like, "Did you hear what happened to the lenses?" And I was like, "No, dude, we just finished the finals." He's like, "Somebody stole." Like, so finally, a red camera is incredibly expensive to operate or own. We finally have one to use to try to, make the shit look awesome. And some piece of shit steals lenses, $20,000 worth of lenses.
Jesus.
So, yeah, there's a reward for that. If you want to contribute to the good of the world instead of contributing to the fuckery of the world, please help us find those lenses.
I'll throw some headbands on it if they show up.
I wish we lived back in the day when we could just mount a posse and go start searching people's houses, but it drives me crazy. It's like you work your goddamn ass off for so long to finally try to build things so we can make things better and look more dope. And then all of a sudden somebody decides to come through and fucking steal $20,000 worth of lenses.
Well, what's crazy to me too is it's like it's an inside. It's not. I want to call it an inside job, but it's an inside job. It's like these people who complain so much about paintball not making it are the same guys who are like jacking lenses out of the from the guys that are trying to make paintball bigger. It was somebody in paintball. Like it's not like some random person drove in there. I mean, there is a possibility, but more than likely it was a paintball person who was like, "Oh, great!" Like they felt vexed by some reason, and they would be able to get something over it. It's just like such a lousy thing to do, and it's like, and they're the guys who are preaching grow paintball and like, what does tournament paintball do, or like what the NXL doesn't help anybody, or the little guys, and they're over there heisting the lenses from Ghost Sports, or the same people who complain that like, oh well, I have to walk all the way around, I can't just sneak through the fence here, so.
Hey, look, there is good and there is evil in the world. And the longer that I live and the more that I see, the more that I understand. Obviously, things are incredibly nuanced, but we are not some big company some monolithic institution not fucking stealing from Apple. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. and even that, just theft in general, I don't know why it is, but it's always driven me crazy, dude. Like, thievery is like, some friends that went through, like a phase where they're shoplifting or whatever. I can't fucking stand it, dude. I hate people that steal shit. It drives me crazy. It fucks the world up. It makes everything worse. It makes everyone trust people less. Like, I can't stand it. So, and this was before this, so to like come down from the high of what an amazing day at paintball, what a great weekend, seeing 1 million people and everything's super cool and everything's great. And it's like, wow, that was probably the best. It might have been the best World Cup I've ever seen. Maybe, the finals was great. Didn't go to overtime. Last year's game was arguably more dramatic, even though this one was super fucking dramatic. But then, you know, it's just, yeah, it's frustrating, dude, because, yeah, I mean, that's the truth. So, yeah, there is a reward out, and,
maybe there's something that can be put together with a lot of the elites that can drive that up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll nominate Ryan to give the person who returns it a hamstring massage.
Hamstring massage? I hear they're really good.
Yeah.
I hear they're really good.
I got it. Actually,
You guys need to go sift through the offer up. That's how we found my stolen gear bag.
Dude, that was amazing. That story.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't rolled that show back, it was I think maybe before the last tournament. And it's a pretty awesome story.
Yeah.
About these guys doing some mercenary justice.
That was great.
I love
that was really good.
I honestly wish we could have more of that in the world. I'd be all for that.
So if you know who has the lenses and you don't want to get the cops involved, just call Edmonton Impact and they'll roll out in the private jet and they will deliver some Batman style justice.
Yeah. I gotta jump off. I gotta go to class.
Yeah. No problem. Thanks, Kyle. We're gonna wrap it up anyway. Maddie's got a little piece of trivia. Alex has got a couple more jokes, and everybody else stick with us because we're gonna spin the wheel. We do a little.
And then I'm sure by next week we're just gonna have the moves and rumors. Tomorrow, the next 2 weeks will probably be rumor weeks.
Yeah, Dynasty actually already picked someone up too. That's actually a huge drop.
Did, yeah.
Yeah, we picked someone up. We picked up Bart from Impact. So we'll take our private jet. No. We did make a pickup. We'll talk about that here in a second. Kyle, you have to go to school.
All right. Bye.
Later, Kyle.
Fine.
Love you guys. Bye.
See you, Kyle.
Oh, that's great. Later, bro.
But yeah, did you stop pointing at stuff?
What was your favorite ride, Ryan?
So, thanks, babe. My favorite ride was, we did the lightning lane stuff, and I got Camille on the Flight of the Avatar and the Everest experience today, and she was a big fan of the Avatar ride. Sloan and I crushed it on Goofy's Barnstormer.
Did you like that roller coaster?
Dude, she loves roller coasters. She was trying to fight the person to try to get back on the thing. She didn't want to wait back in line. Like, no, I want to go again.
My daughter is so scared of it.
No, she loved the roller. She was terrified of Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't bring a 3-year-old on Pirates of the Caribbean. That was terrifying. But yeah, she crushed it on the roller coasters, dude. If she could have gone on Space Mountain or Matterhorn and all of that stuff, she would have been in there every second. But
it's pretty perceptive of you as a dad, though, to be able to see like through her eyes on something like Pirates of the Caribbean, how frightening that could possibly be.
Oh, you know? I didn't actually see her through the eyes. I just had a camera in her face the whole time, so I just kind of reviewed the videos. I wasn't actually watching her.
Yeah, I knew you were a scumbag.
Just joking. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
We were. Well, as soon as the Pirates of the Caribbean the skull came on with the red eyes, like right when you pull into it, I was like, oh no. And then she was like, oh my god. We just kept seeing the dog. Luckily, there was a dog in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride that we kept reminding her that the dog's okay. It's just like Rose.
You know that dog is supposedly based off of Walt Disney's actual dog.
I believe it. Yeah. But no, there's some really cool stuff. There's really cool stuff. It's been a fun time, and Sloan has loved every second of it. She's been ripping at 110%. Every time she gets a little tired, she wants either a donut or like some sort of French fries or a snack, and then she's completely energized again. It's crazy.
It's the worst she's ever eaten.
Yeah, she hasn't been eating incredibly healthy out here, even though we pack a bunch of healthy snacks. She needs the unhealthy sugar to get in there and get some more energy.
All right, dude. Well, good job taking it down at Disney World. I wish I was with you guys.
Yeah, next year we're gonna do that. So, yeah, thanks for.
Yeah, and Maddie, you can join next year too. Monty's gonna be right in the wheelhouse.
That's right.
I feel like I'm all like my mom used to actually kick her legs up at Disneyland for a job. She worked as a can-can dancer at the Golden Horseshoe Revue, getting her master's degree from Irvine. So I grew up knowing, or my mom knew people that worked at Disneyland in Southern California. And I love Disneyland. I've been there in years. But I'm a firm believer in, like, I feel like if you're taking kids to Disneyland before they're probably, I mean, how old is Sloan now?
She'll be 3 on December 5th.
Yeah, I feel like that's right. I mean, she's obviously going to enjoy the hell out of it, and that's kind of my earliest memories are around 3. But Monty's 14 months. I feel like I need like another 2 years before he'll actually remember it.
You're right. You're dead on that.
And that's fine if you still want to take your kid there, but you're doing it for you. Like how I know some parents. I'm not going to name any names. They're like, oh, you know, so and so really wants to go to Disneyland. I'm like, so and so is 16 months old. So and so doesn't know shit about Disneyland. You know, like you want to go to Disneyland, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Adults can love Disneyland too. Again, we all grow up, you know, hopefully if you had a chance to go there, that's fine. But as far as for Monty, I feel like he's going to, like, 3 is kind of the cutoff. It's like right around that time.
Yeah. She might not remember it, but she had a blast, dude. She had so much fun. So
totally.
I'm excited for her and how much fun she had. So, yeah, we're pumped. We're headed home tomorrow. And we thank everybody for giving us all the great comments throughout. I had to obviously manage a bunch of the things that were going on within us winning, and like this has been one of the most incredible weekends or weeks.
Dude, how the hell did we win, bro? Like, what's up?
I don't know, dude. I don't know how the hell we did it, bro.
I'll break it down intricately for you, Alex. Watch 4 Sundays. I'm about to do a bunch of shit ton of narration for it.
But
I'll tell you what though. Like, there's like a belief, I feel like, and a vibe going that is just like super positive for our team right now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just people just wanted us to win.
Well, Alex, that's great you say that too, because the speech that you gave all of us at right before we got, you're like, hey Ryan, should I get everybody hyped up? And I was like, yes.
When I hear more about this speech, what did you say?
Well, he was just like, he summed it up great. He was like, everybody's rooting for us. Like the cosmos, the universe is on our side, and like he was like, you know what? Even the guys on XFactor want us to fucking win. You know, and it was like.
I agree.
It was a powerful speech just in general, but like the power of belief was there, and he was right. You know, like everybody was rooting for us. Everybody was on our side. Like there are people who are not Dynasty fans, and we understand that. We appreciate that. Like people just don't like us because for whatever reason, you win too much, you don't win enough. You're too good, you're not good enough. Like, there's all these reasons why people are fans of one organization or another, and we're always appreciative of everybody who's a fan of paintball in general. We don't care if you're a fan of Dynasty or not. We love you more if you are, but we love you all the same to the most part. But the way that Alex had said it was like the people there, the people at the front gate, the people. It doesn't matter if you're parking a car, you're playing against us, you're in the stands. Like, you guys, the universe wants us to win this weekend, and it was all in there. And, you know, it was great. And it was funny just, like, looking at Marcelo's face, too. Because Marcelo came in with a little bit of doubt, losing Dalton. He wasn't grasping the field layout and everything. And we just kept saying, like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, everything's going to be fine, man. And he just kept looking at us. And he goes, why are you guys not worried ever? And Alex is like, because, dude, it's going to be fine.
Worrying doesn't make it better.
Yeah. And
never makes it better.
As we were making
I'm worried about a lot of shit these days, and the paintball tournament is not one of those things. You know, and honestly, it's like, you know, I felt like a sense of ease and looseness to the team. Like, Brandon Short was there. I didn't go to practice. Like, you know, Skinny's got a very, like, laid-back attitude about stuff, and that just, I feel like, lends itself to playing loose and having a good time. And if you win, great. If you lose, you know, it's like you're getting pizza if you lose, and you're getting pizza if you win. It doesn't matter. So you know, it's like Little League, and you go out there and do that, and you play. Especially on this field, was a field where making moves was rewarded, and it was not a rigid type of field. It was a field where there was creative stuff you could do all over the place. So, you know, if a guy tried to move and it didn't work, do it again. You know, try it differently next time. Not, you idiot, what were you thinking? You know, and a lot of teams, I feel like, and players have that rigidity, and you can see that when you're, you know, around the pits or around these guys. Certain teams and certain players you know, I don't want to say take it too seriously, but are playing in a way that's so rigid, it's almost creates a deficit.
Well, I think that that's actually a very interesting outlook on it, because if you look at every single one of your games, you guys won every game, but you allowed teams to put the only beating you put on anybody was on AC Dallas. And, you know, and before, Ryan, you were like, yeah, but we should have won this quarter. We should have done that. But you didn't.
We didn't.
You know, you guys would allow the team to make a move or something bad would happen or whatever. But and it's also, I think it's really cool for historical perspective and just in general, because when I talked to all these teams and players and all these coaches doing my homework, like, okay, how does the field play? Is it going to play fast? Is the snake side this? Blah, 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 blah. And we're talking about all of this different stuff. And almost every top-level pro and all the top-level coaches that I talk to about this specific layout, they're like, man, it's kind of like we think it's going to play this way, but they almost all of them are like, but yeah, it's also kind of like a play paintball kind of feel. So I think it's super fitting that you guys ended up winning this is like the play paintball kind of field, because you guys gave up points. You know, you guys, it was a then it was a 1-point game against Infamous, and then you let Damage put up 2 to 5, and then you guys, you know, have aftermath is that they put up points on you, but all the way down, except for the game against AC Dallas, who is getting relegated and they're the worst team this year. Every other team essentially, like, you know, put points up against you guys, but you guys are just better. So yeah, like, okay, like you said, a move doesn't work out. Okay, whatever. Let's just go out and we'll do it better next time. And every single dude stepped up for you guys. Mm-hmm. And it was also cool that you guys, you know, you didn't go starting 5 into that final match. Yosh got spins, Mike got spins, Brandon got spins. Brandon hasn't played paintball in 3 years, you know, and he went out there, was getting spins in the finals and contributing. I mean, you know, we can't even determine who the goddamn MVP is because everyone's playing so fucking good. Like, it was really cool. Like, that's ideal. That's like best case scenario from your guys' perspective, not from mine. But I mean, I guess as a fan. But it was just you know, it was just so good. It was just like, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, like, Marcelo's playing now as the attacker on the D side, and like Ryan's kind of everywhere. Alex is, and the trading with Urena again, but they're both, you know, you had some big moments, Alex. Urena had some huge moments. Blake played his ass off, obviously. Yosh had huge moments too. He had like a couple crucial kills. There was, I can't remember which point. I'd have to go to my notes. But Yosh like had a huge moment where he held up meter long enough so that Marcelo could go hit the buzzer. That was a crucial point. Yosh was crushing it. It was just literally everyone contributes. So that's like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, it just kind of reminds me of it's a weird reference, but I've loved this reference because if anyone hasn't seen the Eagles documentary about the band the Eagles, not the football team the Eagles, go and watch it. It's a 2-parter. It's fucking miraculous. It will remind any paintball player of Dynasty, but there's a moment where like the crazy like room trashing gnarly rock star guy in the beginning, one of their guitar players, he's like becomes the philosophical sage throughout the entire documentary, even though he was, you know, the crazy dude Joe Walsh. And so he's like, yeah, it's weird, man. You know, he's an old man now. He's probably going to die in a couple years, but and Glenn Frey already died. But he's like, you know, it's weird because while it's happening at the time, it seems like pandemonium and chaos. But when you look back on it, it seems like a finely crafted novel. And your guys' road now through 2 World Cup victories in 2 years and 3 wins in 5 events, it really is like a finely crafted novel. Especially with you guys almost shit out the first event, took 10, lose Tyler, 8 wins. I mean, it looks like God himself came down to craft a dope paintball story, and you guys are the protagonists in this particular era. So, you know, thank you to the cosmos or the paintball gods or God or the Tao or Buddha or whatever deity you like to thank for cool shit, or yourselves. You know, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you guys just willed this into your reality and there is none of those things. Whatever it is, it's dope. And I'm pretty sure it's Commander Mode.
Oh yeah, we'll take that.
Maury's Gibbs up Dynasty fan ever.
Or your pops.
Yeah, or Big Rich. I will say, you know, some of the best, or at least best games or moments from the tournament for me, watching our guys, or the moments that I got the biggest pump are points that we lost, and where guys were like fighting from a 2-on-4 position and like giving us a chance to win. And when those moments are happening, even if you don't win them all, you know that they're gonna hit sometime. You know you're gonna hit one in a big moment, and if the guys are playing like that, I don't know. I think
that's what I feel when I'm playing craps.
I think Skinny Kevin may have pressed the buzzer one time all weekend, and that was against XFactor in one of those games. Yeah. Other than that, we afforded ourselves a chance to win the point even when we were down, and didn't put that pressure on him to hit the buzzer. Or if he did hit the buzzer, the point was completely over. It wasn't like a situation where, he was like, it's 3-on-5 and we're down points. What do I do? We never let that happen. So I think the team is, really kind of zeroed in on like this philosophy and it lended itself to that field as well. And I think there are definitely ghosts out there this weekend, man. I was thinking about that. I was kind of like reflecting on things before one of the games, and I felt like my ghost was out there from 2001. Even though I'm not dead, I felt Brad, like we were talking about, Ryan and I were talking about like Brad and like running the flag back against Aftershock, right? Mm-hmm. Like I saw that out there. I saw that in my mind, like happening still in that area, in that, I know we're not in the same exact location, but this tournament has that history, and in that time and place, parallel universes or whatever you want to call it, it exists somewhere in time and space. And I was feeling like we were like tapping into that all weekend, and I was talking to Oliver, and he was like wishing he was here, and like it was like like magical feelings.
That video,
like it's kind of what it looked like, dude.
That video that Verbal posted was hilarious. Of you FaceTiming Oliver, and it was like when you call your homie to tell him you won World Cup, and it was you talking to Oliver. That was probably my favorite post of the entire weekend. He
was so stoked, Maddie. He was like, "Yeah, you guys did it. How you guys still doing this and that?" And then I hand the phone to Ryan, and he looks at Ryan and says, "How did you not get the golden barrel, idiot?" Couldn't even give him a congratulations. Like I had to like dig right straight in.
Of course.
Yeah. And I was like, "Please come back and help me. Ryan's bullying me." So, that was great. This was one for the record books. I mean, obviously we're gonna be saying the same thing next year when we win World Cup. And we said the same thing last year, but this one was special because obviously, and I think I titled this thing like Deja Vu, and it wasn't a fluke because obviously the 2020 World Cup win, there was a small asterisk over the top of that because there were in the series win because there were only 2 events. There were a bunch of guys that were missing from the event, and Fedorov, most notably from Heat, was missing. A bunch of the Revo guys were not there. Colt Roberts wasn't there. But there were a lot of guys that didn't come to World Cup last year, and so you're always like, there's a stain on the not a stain, but there's an asterisk over that win. But this one right here was huge. Obviously, Chicago was massive, but going back to back from Chicago to this, and then back to back World Cups and World Championships. There's now like that asterisk can almost be taken away just because of this repeat, that's why I think that this is incredibly special. And the fact, like Maddie, you said, is everybody stepped up. It wasn't like one person's win. It wasn't like someone, for instance, Fedorov playing incredibly well in Philly. That was just like there was no doubt in anybody's mind who the number one guy was there to carry the team. This was like clearly and truly a team effort that brought all of us there, and it was a grind, and that's what everybody's excited. My mom always says too. She's like, why do you guys always just like make it so hard? I'm like, well, and Johnny Perchek, same thing. He's like, dude, what are you idiots doing? Why do you guys blow it so much? I'm like, dude, Johnny, Go Sports pays us to make sure that we let everybody back in the game, so we make the games interesting.
Hey, Ryan, here's the $100 bill, baby. I need you to make it super dramatic, okay?
Try to only win every match within 1 point.
I will tend to you when you're hungover anytime you want, Alex. I swear to God. Just please, just make it super dramatic. I'll hold you whatever you need.
If anybody ever needs to be talked down off of a horrible hangover, call Matty. He'll bring you back. And shout out to Dylan Boyum. I see him in the comments there. That's my boy on DMG. I'm looking for.
I love Dylan Boyum.
Yeah, big things out of those guys in the future. You know, they kind of are in a rebuild, getting some young talent in there, and you know, I feel like. You know, even though they didn't make Sunday, there was a lot of positive things that I was watching them over the weekend, and yeah, I think there's a bright future for that team.
Awesome, right on. Awesome. Well, we got to wrap it up because we're coming up on 2.5 hours here, and I
got a text from my wife. She's like, "How's it looking?" I'm like, "I think we're gonna be done pretty soon."
How's it looking? That's Camille's been standing here staring at me for the last 45 minutes.
This is a good one, though. This is a good one.
This is a good one, dude. I'm stoked. So, Maddie, have you thought of any bit of trivia? I do want to give something away. I've got. I thought about this long and hard, and Alex, I hate to re-gift this, but. Nobody in the house plays cards, and this would just be sitting in my dresser until Sloan pulled the cards out of here. But this is let's open this up. This is a pack of HORMESIS cards right here, and this thing.
Tight.
No. Tight is an understatement. How nice these things are. I'm opening these things right now because even though Camille says.
Well, yeah, Camille just tried to grab them from you.
I know. I don't know what she was doing, but these are some of, and I thought everything that HORMESIS makes obviously is special and really nice, but I saw these cards and Sloan's gonna lose these things if I leave them at the house. But I don't know, is this real gold on these things?
Real gold? I don't know.
The answer is yeah, of course it is, bro. 24 karat.
But I mean, these are real.
Son.
These are real, super, 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 super nice cards. And I know that a lot of guys wanted them, and it comes in this special box. So we're going to give these things away. Maddie, I would love for you to come up with a bit of trivia so that everybody who's watching the show right now can guess on this. And then I have some wheel spins. I'm going to give away a couple of these Spick and Span bands. I've got the headband giveaway from Dalton. That's going to go for Cutthroat. And then I've got a coin duel that I'm going to give away as well. Coin duel coin. So... Maddie, if you can think of any...
Okay, yeah. So I'm just wondering. I have a bunch. I was thinking about it. I mean, I'm just wondering how knowledgeable your fans are, because I don't want to throw out a piece of trivia and then no one knows the answer to it. So I feel like I need to keep it.
Well, you can always give hints.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah,
Maddie.
And these guys, everybody here is badass, dude. These guys, it will probably be guessed in seconds, if not, minutes, if not seconds, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, different histories of you guys, and I remember that, that famous book that just came out, and I remember one of the more compelling stories of these origin stories was you and Yosh kind of being from the same place. So I think I think this one might be a pretty simple Dynasty piece of trivia for hardcore fans, but if somebody could tell me the hometown of both you and Yosh, where you guys used to sling, tennis balls dipped in mud, slingshots, where you guys were just out there. San Diego is not the answer.
No,
that's my hometown, and that's where he currently lives. Mirror Island is
Michael Cruz.
We already got it. Michael Cruz. That was quick, dude.
Yeah, these guys are on it, bro. Michael
As
Cruz,
I like to call it, Sebastian low end of the gene pool.
I was going to say that too. I was going to beat you to it. Yeah. It's actually better being from Sebastopol than it is from being a Mill Valley asshole like Alex and Oliver. They just grew up with...
You gotta come up with a better name.
It's really hard to pronounce. It's a European battleground area.
It is.
Yeah.
It's in
Sebastopol, that's true.
Sebastopol, with the V. Yep, there it is, Michael Cruz.
Was that Russian?
Yes, it's I believe it's Ukrainian.
Yeah.
But Russia decided to take it over because they needed the strategic port.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting history around the original Sebastopol, but and I don't know why. Well, probably because the Russians came down and owned that part. Whatever. We know the history lesson right now. Congratulations to Michael Cruz.
Thank you, Matty.
Faster than anyone else.
Yeah, and Matty, congratulations to you, man. I don't know how you sit up there for 10 hours a day and just
I know, right?
bake and fry, and just you're able to emote just like a master up there. So, you know, it's more demanding than any other sportscast, and you nail it every time. So, big shout out to you, man.
I appreciate that. It's I love my job, and it means a lot to me because I love the sport. So I just try to, you know, get in the flow state, baby, and just keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling, baby. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, try to enjoy myself.
Right on. Thank you, Maddie, dude. You're the man. I appreciate you. And let's get the fam together and do dinner. Well, actually, no. Let's leave the kids. Let's get the wives together and go do dinner when I get back.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would love that.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love your child and as much as I love my child, it would be totally dope if we could get just the wives together and go do something.
Let's
that would
do
be
it.
even better.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get you out of Arizona and come visit.
What if you just left the wives and just went with you two guys?
Arizona. Santee, bitch. It's not Arizona. Well, it's pretty much Arizona. Pretty much anything east of the 15 is Arizona for everyone who lives in Pacific Beach. 'Cause I get it. Yes. And then come down to San Diego, Alex, so we can all hang out again. Please.
We're not bringing the wives.
Hey, Alex, really quickly, a bunch of people are asking when silver coins will be back up on the CoinDuel website.
Oh yeah, I just got some. I'm gonna throw them back up there. I'll throw them back up in the next couple of days.
All right, guys.
So check back. Yeah,
check back this week.
I had the coins. I just didn't have the packaging, so I just got some more.
Okay, cool. CoinDuel coins will be up for sale. I'm actually gonna give one away today. I won one off of somebody just the other day. So I'm gonna.
If people want, I'll throw some up right now. Hold on a second.
On the website.
Coins. I got some coins, son.
Are you putting?
Yeah, I need to figure out who's gonna go on the next one.
Oh,
wow.
I
thought we figured that out. I thought it was gonna be Shane.
Yeah, okay, Shane.
I got some black coins.
I gotta get a good picture of Shane.
Yeah.
You gotta use one. You gotta use one from an old JT magazine. Hit up Don Widmer.
Please let Yosh know that I need my other gold coin, Alex, from our golf duel.
And
I
Daryl.
have yet to got paid for that golf duel.
Shane Pistana, yeah. And Daryl Trent owes me a black coin also because I beat him at fantasy football twice.
I go grab some coins. They're up there now.
All right, the coins are up on the CoinDuel website. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Maddie, very much for joining us. Batteries are about to die. I got to spin some wheels and give these guys what they came for. I got one cutthroat going.
Hey, thanks for including me, man. It was a hell of a weekend.
Thanks, Alex. You're the man.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, see you guys. Love you. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for sticking with us, tuning in for this one's for a record book. This is almost as long as the when Oliver joined us. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the Hilton here for having Wi-Fi good enough to be able to broadcast this for 2.5 hours. I'm gonna get right into it, guys. I'm gonna give away 3 sets of these brand new Spick and Span bands. These should be up on the Spick and Span site, along with some shirts, and we got some Dynasty merchandise going up there on the dynastypaintball.com site as well. Some 21 years of winning, something like that. I've seen some proofs. Also, I'm gonna give away a couple signed cards. We've got the HORMESIS headband. Michael Cruz just won the signed card. I'm gonna give away 1 CoinDuel coin signed as well. And then if you guys have not already checked out dynastypaintball.com, make sure you guys go on there and get your enter into join, and then we're going to be giving away series championship rings in December. Also, there was something up here that I wanted to show somebody, but I don't know which thing it was. Cards are going out. Anyway, never mind. I'm going to jump over here and spin the wheel. Oh, yeah, that's right. These headbands, if you guys are already, I know a bunch of you guys didn't get a chance to get on the Planet Drop, but if you are a Dynasty Paintball Champions Club member, this is coming month 3. So in March, you are going to be expecting this. I know you guys paid for 3 months in to begin with. Off the break, you paid for 3 months, but you're going to be getting a really cool curated box with a members-only jacket, shirt, patch, bands. You get a members-only card that's going to give you exclusive access to on-site venue, access to VIP booths and stuff like that. This is month 3, and we've got a ton of awesome gifts. We've got grand prize stuff coming out. Your Signature Series Force coming month 1. These are going to be coming next month, actually. We're just going to give these things away right away. That's an extra added bonus. So Dynasty Champions Club. If you do the annual Maui Rockstar, you are the man, and you're here. So you are here to get Cutthroat going. So let me go ahead real quickly. Let me jump over to the second screen wheel. Let me populate it. Wheel of names. I'm going to make it big here, full screen. So everybody who is a member of the channel, you guys are all, let me see if I can even do this. Is there a second monitor? There is no second monitor because I only have one screen here. So what I'm going to do, you're just going to have to trust me here as I go through. I'm spinning the wheel for everybody who is a member of the show. You are eligible to win. We're going to do Cutthroat right after this. Stephen Perry is winner number 1. This is going to be a set of bands. Winner number 2 for a set of the Spick and Span bands. All mega support status members. These are going to be coming in your upcoming gift giveaway bag, along with Craig Baxter is not coming in the bag, but you guys are all going to be getting this along with a sticker sheet courtesy of Island Designs and James. So you guys are going to be getting some cool stuff coming up here in a couple of weeks. Also, I want to make sure that everybody knows, and the final winner is Mr. Simo. And then I'm going to do 2 more spins. So again, if I have your address, if you guys are members of the site, if you guys are supporters of the site, make sure that I have your addresses so that way I can send you some stuff. The next winner is Ben Kenna. Kenna. Make sure I have your guys' addresses so that way I can send your gifts even if you are not present to win. And again, I appreciate everybody who listens on Spotify or any kind of streaming service. Michael Simon, you just won some signed cards. Also, everybody who won last week, if you were one of the 5 people who got the special grab bags, you were going to be getting some beanies. I got some Field 1 beanies coming to you guys. HK and Brandon Short are going to be sending me some other stuff. Coin Duel Coin is going to Mr. Adam Lawrence. Congratulations, Adam Lawrence. All right. So, next up, we have everybody. So, Real Cujo, how do we know if you have the addresses? Make sure that you you send me your address via email, ryangreenspan18@gmail.com. Yes, and Mr. Simo. I did say Simo. Cool. There we go. TRG Goat, make sure I have Simo's address, please. We're going Cutthroat right now. Cutthroat is for super mega support status members only. The way that Cutthroat is going to work is, let me give an air horn to all the super mega support status members. Cutthroat is going, this is going to be courtesy of Mr. Dalton Gilbert, donated a Dragonfly Pollinator Series HORMESIS headband. If you are a super mega support status member right now, then your name is on the list. If you joined just today, your name is on the list. There is not going to be, let's see here. Yep, what I'm going to do is the internet really slow? Okay, I have the wheel here of all of the super mega support status members. So first of all, I want to thank all of you very much for the support. Okay, and I want to thank everybody who has donated to the show today, especially Alpha Dog, and especially everybody who has donated to the show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it on the outside. I'm going to announce the name 3 times, and then I'm going to count down. And if you are here and present, then you get to win. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the wheel spin because I don't have the second monitor because we're on vacation. So the wheel is spinning, and the first name is Maui Rockstar. You are here. You are present. Let's get it. I'm going to give it 1, 2, 3, but I know because I see you. Maui Rockstar is the first winner. I'm going to screenshot this right now. I'm going to send you guys a picture just so you guys know that it is all legit. Maui Rockstar, congrats, my man. Here it is. Let's just put it up here. So this is what I'm looking at on my screen. Let me see. I know you're here, Mr. Maui Rockstar. You are... Whoop, where'd it go? So... Here is the feed, the live feed. Here's the YouTube, and then here is the wheel that just spun. Let's put my hand over there. Maui Rockstar getting a fat air horn and an insanely cool, nice headband. Cutthroat. That was the fastest Cutthroat. Jamie, you're right. But, dude, you guys, I love Cutthroat. I love all you guys. We appreciate everybody's support. And I will get you guys a ton more giveaways coming up soon. Again, I love everybody's support. And next week, we're going to be announcing the winners from the charity. The charity raffle was a massive, incredibly insane success. So thank you guys all for your support. It sold out. I didn't actually add any more raffle tickets because I wanted to make sure that everybody got a chance to win. I've got like 20 or 40. I've got a box full of giveaways. Island Designs, James came through big. HORMESIS came through big. I've got a ton of stuff that I'm going to be giving away next week. I'm going to announce all the winners next week before I head to Dallas for Black Friday at Giant Party Sports. So everybody who's in Texas, Giant Party Sports, if you guys want to meet Sloan and Camille will be there at Giant Party Sports, the retail shop on Friday for Black Friday. Dalton Gilbert, thank you so much for the headband, guys. You're awesome. Gunnar Dixon, in 3 months is your birthday. Hopefully it falls on a Tuesday so we can say happy birthday live on the show. Everybody else, Paul Vincent, Patches, we love you too, man. You're awesome. And Rocco, I'll try to get some goggle straps for you guys to give away. But in the meantime, stay safe, have a great week, and I will see you on Tuesday of next week. Huge show next week, and giving away a bunch more stuff, and we'll be announcing the total tally from the year's worth of charity drives. Also, we're going to pick 3 charities. One is going to go to veterans. The other one is going to probably go to feed the homeless. And then the third one is going to be going to the winner's choice. So whoever wins the very first raffle ticket is going to pick where their charity donation wants to go. So we're going to be giving away over $1,000 to each charity. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody out there, for the support. Thank you, Camille. Thank you, Sloan, for sleeping in, and Camille letting me do this, and everybody else out there. You guys all rock. Congratulations, Maui Rockstar, and our son, Dalton Gilbert, your address, and you will have a fresh headband arriving in Maui just in time for the sun to come out. You guys all rock. Thank you very much. And I will see you later.